You probably heard that before. Let's just start this out in 1 Peter 4. I got like 3 scriptures to bring some remedy to the situation.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times our own mouths call for strokes. You understand? Like at a certain point, after so many times, you try to bring a light to the situation, and they don't want to hear it. You got to take your feelings out of it and say,
right.
Look, I'm up out of here. Yeah. We ain't even got to rap no more. Next time we talk about the Most High, you gonna be bringing it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't the only one with family that's crazy as all hell. People have called me the devil since I've been in the truth. You ready to jump you know what I'm saying? Ride past your crib, you know. So it comes to a point the scriptures let us know, like, look, after 2 or 3 times, you try to warn them. If they don't want to hear it, you command to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So this 1 Peter 4 real quick gonna go into the mindset we ought to have. And got 2 more scriptures out after that. And then that way you can start controlling the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like after, look, I don't want to hear all that. Capital T at the end.
You're right.
I don't want to hear all that. Oh, okay. Well, next time we rap about this, you gonna be bringing it up. And it usually be when one of your people get plagued or something. You know, most I done visit them at night, tickle their heart feathers or something. They'll be calling you. You see what I'm saying? We can't force that thing down nobody's throat though. We commanded after so many times, cut it off. Yep. Keep it pushing. That's an art that some of us had to learn quicker than others. You understand? Some of us was like, I mean, when I first found out the truth, I was like a 5-year-old picking up an Uzi. Everybody's getting hit. Like I just didn't care. No discernment, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? But years later, folks, you know, you learn to use more wisdom and you wielding your sword, and you're still the same fire, but you ain't just taking everybody's heads you see. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to rap, that's on them. Bye. Kick rocks, but like they say in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So look, let's read this real quick. 1 Peter 4. Grab 1 through 4 real quick. One of the brothers.
The book of 1 Peter.
Then brother get into his class real quick. Go ahead, bro.
Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Verse 1. For as much then as Yeshua had suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
With the what?
With the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
So notice what it says. It says, as he hath suffered for what's righteous, arm yourselves with the same mind. You know what I'm saying? Don't come into the truth and think everything's going to be smooth or whatever. Arm yourself with the mind to suffer for it, because it's coming. All right, let me finish. We coming to you. Let's make this point so we don't bounce around. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 2.
I got it.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Yah. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Our old self, we were working the will of Gentiles. We're doing everything they was doing, and as long as you was in the world doing what they was doing, nobody cared. It was all good. You was in with the crowd. Everybody loved you. But as soon as you start trying to bring light to the situation, now it's a problem. Arm yourselves with the same mind, though. Go ahead, Al.
When we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatry.
Going into their little pagan feast days and all that. As long as you were showing up saying Merry Christmas, it was all good. As soon as you start bringing light to the situation, like, look, that's not of the Most High. Now it's a problem.
Right.
Arm yourselves with that mind, though. Arm yourselves with the mind that, look, I become an enemy of the world for the sake of the gospel.
That's right.
It's just what it is. Why? Because the world has not taken on the spirit of the Most High. Everybody don't love the God of this Bible. Get that out your mind. They don't. If they did, they would love you. All right, read out.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riots.
Excess of what?
Riots.
Excess of riots, huh? Go ahead.
Speaking evil of you.
You see, it was right here in these scriptures that, look, your people gonna speak evil of you. They think it's strange, not cool. They think it's strange that you run around here talking about some you done seen the light and you in the truth. And you don't do the things that you used to. Right? But it ain't like you the only one it happened to. We was warned 2,000 years ago that this was going to happen. So as a warning, as a righteous warning, We were warned through the scriptures. You understand? Arm yourself with the same mind. Don't think it's going to be flowers, lollipops, and suckers. It's about to be hell. You know what I'm saying? But that's you earning your stripes, though. You know, you wear them like badges of honor. You know what I'm saying? Like they got in the military, cats got their 5-star generals and the stripes. They wear them in honor because they earned them stripes. And that's what y'all doing when y'all go through that. You earning your stripes for the kingdom. You understand? So the Lord tells us to look, arm yourself with that mindset. If you arm it opposite of that, you're doing yourself a disservice.
That's right.
If you think it's going to be diddly-do, neighbor, love you. Yes, come on in, sister of Zion. No, people don't like you. No, they don't like us. You know what I'm saying? But so, in other words, you got to grow thick skin in this deal. In other words, numb to these feelings and these emotions. You know, and as you grow in the truth, that's what's going to happen. You got to have that thick skin or that sound mind to get through all that because we love our loved ones. In the flesh, you love them. You want them all to get it. But the truth is what? They all ain't going to get it.
That's right.
We want all of Israel to be saved, but the truth is what? Only 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved.
That's right.
That means 66.6%
That's the hard truth.
of all the Israelites going down. That means 2 out of 3. If it's 3 of us on the elevator, 2 of us ain't going to make it.
Well,
that's the reality of what this deal is. So if your mind is like, no, I'm going to save everybody, in the end, you're doing yourself a disservice.
I'm going to pick them pearls up.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it's just a mindset that we got to arm ourselves with. So when we get opposition to the truth, you know what we do? I was warned this day was coming. You only got 2 more times for me to tell you. After that 2nd or 3rd time, I'm out of here. And the next time we rap, you will be calling me. That's how you gotta be. All right, let's get a second witness real quick. Titus 3:10. Let me finish my thought. I'm coming to you, I'm coming to you, and I'm coming to you. Titus 3:10 real quick.
The book of
Titus 3, chapter 8 through 11. Chapter 3, verse 8 through 11.
Gotcha. I was gonna say 9. That's good.
And then we need Matthew 7 and 6 after that. And then we answer y'all questions and let Yaki get into his class. But as look, sister, them excellent questions, a lot of us go through that. You understand? But as the years go on, you get tougher and tougher in the spirit. You be like, yeah, so what? They talk crazy, you know what I'm saying? Man, you crazy, you in a cult, you think you righteous, you think you better than everybody. Oh, here come Moses. You get there and all that.
Right.
Yeah, all right, whatever. You feel me? You gotta go tough like that in the spirit. That way you don't, you feel me, be too sentimental. Because you get sentimental and then you start dreaming about something that's not reality. Reality is most of our people ain't gonna make it. Reality is I love my family, but hey, I don't love y'all enough to burn forever with y'all.
That's right.
It's just what it is. If you don't want the truth, your breath stank to me. It's just what it is. Alright, now if you want it, then come holler at me. It's on you to come holler because you rejected me and told me you don't want to hear it. Yeah. And that's how you gotta be, because if not, you're gonna come to blows.
Right.
And then pistols get pulled out. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all family and everybody locked up, got charges on them. Yeah, it can't be that. It can't be that. So your only defense is to be like, what? Look, I don't even care. Whatever. And if you wanna holler again, my phone, you know my number. Keep it at that. Other than that, you're gonna get over emotional and start daydreaming about saving your entire family when all of them ain't gonna get it. It's just the truth. All right, who got the Titus? Titus 3, 8 through 11.
Reading from the book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 8. This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in Yah might be careful to maintain good works.
Careful to do what?
Maintain good works.
Right, so we must maintain good works as believers. Excellent. Sisters, back me on up. Back on up. But we must maintain good works. In other words, we can't even let, because we mad at our people, use that as an excuse to do evil works. Or to do bad works or to sin. You see what I'm saying? We must maintain good works as believers. The light can't never go out. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
These things are good and profitable unto men.
Yeah.
But avoid foolish questions.
You avoid who?
Foolish questions.
How you know the earth ain't 6 quadrillion years old? Right. You know, a lot of foolish questions come at you once you find out the truth.
That's
what
right.
I'm saying? Stuff that has nothing to do with salvation and nothing. So what if the earth's 6 quadrillion years old, if it's 6,000 years old?
It's round. If it's
what that got to do with the kingdom? You see what I'm saying? There's certain things that the scripture tell you, look, to avoid all the strokes, to avoid all the carnality back and forth, to avoid the bloodshed, avoid foolish questions. Now you know a foolish question when you hear it. You know what I'm saying? How you know God ain't a sheep?
Let's debate.
Look, I ain't gonna be lit wrestling with y'all. It is what it is.
Right.
You don't accept what it is, that's on you. That's how we gotta grow. We gotta get in that type of spirit, you understand? So we don't be shedding blood. So we don't get carnal with our people. You gotta learn to dismiss them because they devils right now. We're devils. Bye. Get out my face.
You said it for yourself. You seen their face change.
Yeah. Right.
Go ahead,
But avoid foolish questions and genealogy and contentions and strivings about the law. For they are unprofitable and vain. A man that is inheriting after the first and second admonition rejects.
Say after the first and second time you try to bring that reproof to them, they don't want it. The scripture commands you to reject them.
That's right.
Because ain't nothing good coming after it.
We're going to be arguing back and forth about what?
Back and forth.
The age of the earth, genealogies. Can't nobody keep the law. See, y'all trying to be righteous. What we arguing about?
Right.
You brainwashed. Yeah, my mind is washed in filth. Yes. I am brain. My mind has been washed. You see? Avoid all that extra. It's after the first and second time you bring the truth to them, reject them if they don't want. They heretics. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 11. Knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinning, being condemned of himself.
You see, he's condemned. He's subverted, mean overthrown. Overthrown. Sinning means he's a lawbreaker, and he's condemned. Unless he repent, unless she repent, they're overthrown, they're condemned, and they breaking the law of the Most High.
Keep it moving.
So all you can do is just keep it moving. And that's it, and that's how you avoid a lot of that madness. One more verse, Matthew 7:6. And we got 2 questions. Sis got some, and then sis in the back. That brother on to his class. But is it making sense, sister? Is it making sense? That's how we can avoid a lot of bloodshed and getting cornered with our people. Because I understand clearly. I got them family members that'll join you out the house, turn the whole family against you. You understand? And when you're young, you be ready to get bow-legged in the shoulders like, what's good?
Yeah.
I just read about David killing Goliath. I'm feeling like David around this day. What's good? I done been there. Like, hey, let's get it.
Now you let their sin turn you into sin.
Now you sin. You know what I'm saying?
It's a strategy with this though. So with this truth, it's a war strategy. Remember, we at war already anyway. You know, so just tell your son he gotta learn patience with that truth. He can't just be like Mally said. He can't be a Mally Mac 11 shooting up everybody even if they not hearing it. For one, he wasting his time. He can be going to talk to somebody that's willing to listen. Or for two, he can be studying or something instead of, you see what it turned to? It turned into fist fight and bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? What are the weightier matters? It wasn't even worth it. So it's a strategy with this truth. It's a strategy, and that's all it is. Because I bet you now, since he know that, he'll approach it differently next time.
Yeah. You don't know, what you say, Raid got sprayed in his eyes?
Yeah.
Cockroach raid?
Yeah.
Animal mace, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe. So naturally, he's thinking about other ways he could have approached the situation.
Yeah, most definitely.
Or brought water to the fire. How you put that fire out?
Yeah.
You can't fight fire with fire. That's that old proverbial saying. A soft answer turns away wrath.
That's right.
I'm like, you know what? You right, brother. You sure right. Keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? It's ways you take the spirit of off somebody. That spirit of wrath and rage. Getting bow-legged in the shoulders right back, it don't even work. Especially not in spiritual warfare, it never work like that. It's ways you deal with them. If they talking crazy, look, dismiss them, bye. Yeah, you ain't gotta come over here, you ain't gotta call me, it's all good, bye. You feel me? You wanna rap about some scripture, you know my number. And just leave it at that. That's how we gotta be with this thing. Matthew 7:6, last script. And this red letter, this is the Messiah himself letting us know what to do with this word right here. And who we to give it to. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 6.
Yeah.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
Give not that which is what?
Holy unto the dogs.
Dogs, if you look it up, mean an immoral person, somebody with a defiled conscience. That's somebody that can't receive the truth. So don't give that which is holy, which is this word, to dogs. Come on, Hebrew.
Neither cast ye your pearls before swine.
Yeah, take your Rolex off and throw it over in the pig trough. A pig ain't don't have no discernment to know those are jewels. He look at it just like it's whatever it is that's filling his trough for food. If there's no discernment with a pig, in other words, to understand what's holy and what's not unholy. So he's saying don't give that which is holy to dogs and don't cast your pearls before swine. This word is holy and this word is pearls. If they acting like they don't want it, they either a dog or they a swine in the spirit. They don't deserve it. Keep it moving. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
Turn again and do what to you?
Rend
and tear you. You see that? They gonna trample that because they ain't got no discernment that that's holy or pearls. They gonna trample the truth under their feet. Don't nobody want to hear that. They gonna turn around and rend you. Rend means to turn. Now you're shedding blood. You see? But the command is for us to not give that which is holy to dogs and don't give these pearls to swine. Your people act like they don't want the truth. They dogs and they swine in the spirit. You don't give it to them unless there be bloodshed. You see? All right, sister has something. Go ahead.
So, you saying basically, if they want to war, I can give it to them.
You said what?
You saying basically, if they want to war, I can give it to them.
Yeah, you just control the spirit. That's what you do. Like, you know, I mean, you can tell when it's on, people look a certain way, breathe a certain way. You here to give the light, not to put the light out.
Exactly.
So it's like, I don't want to hear all that, what you talking about. Later for that Bible. What, you say, look, you got me messed up. You got me messed up. What's the outcome finna be?
Know what it's gonna be.
Come on, God, what you want the outcome to be? You want them to get the light, right? So if you want them to get the light, it can't be you got me messed up. It gotta be like, all right, well, look, next time we rap, you'll be calling me. And keep it moving. It's more lost sheep to wake up.
That's right.
So, that's why I got different messages learned, so I can't just like acting like shooting much on my pearl, and I can't say that I can't do this.
You can't say what? I mean, what do you think the outcome is? What's the outcome? Hold on, we'll let you answer yourself. What's the outcome of that situation? I'm talking about who gonna be satisfied if you do beat them all down? What's the outcome of a beat down for you? Because the police gonna be called or somebody gonna come. Just like they intervened and a man jumped on you, that's probably gonna happen again if you win it. From that perspective, somebody else gonna jump back in, and then you got mob activity. Right. They charge you more in this nation with mob activity than they do for murder, because now you inciting a riot, and the more people join in, the more wicked spirits are in the midst of that, which gonna create. That's what riot does. But what you're asking us is, if they step to you, we're not telling you not to defend yourself, right. But you can't defend yourself and you go to the midst of that violence. Yes, the Most High ain't gonna be with you. If they come to you with that violence, like we said, get it straight with them. There's violence about to kick off in my house and I have to defend this house, or y'all on your way. And send the ambulance too, because they gonna need it. Right. They gonna need it.
You can't even the odds though. You can't, that's for God to do. Like, I'll get you cornered, you want to go whoop some ass. You know what I'm saying? You got jumped on. But like, what is that going to do for you spiritually though? And what's that going to do for them?
Well, if you whoop them, or they going to accept the word of God.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to do nothing.
Accept his word then.
It ain't going to do nothing for you spiritually, sis, and you know it. You know that. It's you cornerly talking. You know what I'm saying? And you know that.
Here, write down Proverbs 15:1. We ain't got to go there, but it says a soft answer will turn away wrath. You feel me? So your response.
I got a question.
Did you? Did anybody, I mean, when you call the police, I mean, what happened? I mean, y'all in the same household, right? Where all this taking place? I mean, whose house, where did this take place at?
It started at my papa's house, and then the second incident went from my papa's house to my house.
So they came to your home. They came to your home and started trouble again?
Then they went back to my auntie. My son stayed with my auntie. She stayed with my dad because he's elderly. They help out there.
Right.
And I stayed in mama's place. I go to help him with taking him where he gotta go. The thing is that when it happened there, dropping her off, I left because I wasn't trying to pursue it after I grabbed her and realized looking at her face, I was gonna hurt her. So I left and I went on head home. She came all the way to my house and threw a brick at my big glass window in front of my house.
So I mean, at this point, it come down to one thing. Somebody gonna get killed. Y'all know what it's gonna be. Because once you start, it ain't gonna stop with just fists. Somebody gonna get killed.
She keeps saying, she keeps calling and saying, it ain't over until I get mine.
Record it so you have protection on your side. Y'all, you got to be wise at this point, because they don't know who started it when it comes, but they gonna favor the side to say, hey, I tried to do everything I could to avoid it. And if you record and let them know this is what she's saying, and she say she on her way. So either y'all get her before she do, or it's gonna be some trouble. At least you don't leave in they car. Because what you got here, y'all family. If somebody die, y'all gonna be there. Or you got to totally separate yourself from them. And if they come in y'all space, you got to do what you got to do. But this is an intertwined thing. You got aunties, you got your children staying with auntie and another family member that they are allowed to go to them locations.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Since we've been in truth, we have separated. And they don't like it.
Well,
that's why they keep pecking and picking and nagging.
Well, there's some other things going on with that. Truth, when they don't like truth, they come at you a different way with attacking you. This is violence. This something old. This something y'all ain't resolved years ago. This old drama. You can tell what old drama is. This old drama.
Gotta be.
I've walked around for months inside of my tent, and all the stuff they've been saying is going to try to provoke me.
And they stay in the same house. We come out from one thing and losing things and throwing clothes all around the room.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who owned the house? Who owned the house?
My dad. He's ill.
He can't tell certain ones to leave. Who in charge? Who in charge of the house? Who?
There.
Oh, it's time for you to go out of that house. You got to get out of that house.
Yeah, that'll solve the problem.
That'll solve the problem. You can't be in the midst of that, because you gonna turn back into them.
That's the solution right there.
And I mean, how that's gonna look on Channel 4? Family member runs amok. Hebrew wildings at war, and all of them got the same last name. Who you gonna tell the truth to after that? I mean, how they gonna hear it? How she wanna hear you split my head open and knock my eye out the socket, and I got a patch on it now for the rest of my life? So who gonna wanna hear that truth? But sister, we understand it. Civil war been going on in Israel forever, but you got to figure out how to remove yourself so that the Most High is on your side. You got to get out of there. That's just the bottom line, because it's not so much as they want you changing and you trying to change the whole household. The whole household don't want change. I know the father is there and he need assistance, but y'all either got to call family services or somebody and tell him he's in a bad situation. I had to get out of there. This is what's going on. Something has to change there, because once you in there, you know what it's going to be. One word said the channel get changed. I was watching that. How you just gonna come in here and change the damn channel? Then it's on. It's chest to chest again. and blows gonna be thrown. And when you in their turf, unless you bind a strong man, you can't take the house.
Yeah.
So either you take the house or you got to get out.
It was a situation where they were trying to brick the Messiah one time because of words that were said. They tried to, everybody took up stones to stone him, and he had to slide up out of there. Right. You feel me? Like we got to learn how to do that at times. Like you can't answer fire with fire; it's gonna be more fire. You just got to learn to slide off at times. Yeah, it's just strategy of spiritual warfare. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stay up in that deal, then it's just time to remove yourself up out of there. That's all it is. Y'all grown. You feel me? You got another spot where you can lay your head in. It's time to get on up out of there.
That's all it is.
If y'all can't be around each other too long, it's time to go.
You know, I got family like that too. They ain't seen me in 6 years because I know some ignorance will jump off. So I just keep myself away from that. I wish they would hear this word, but they don't want to hear this word. So I'm not going to force them. I'm going to pick my pearls up and go on about my business and talk to somebody who won't hear it. Because that's what we live in now. We are set apart people. We can't keep dealing with people that don't want a part of that.
Oh, set apart. That's the name of the class. Set apart people.
I'm just trying to get you back there.
All right, look, let's get this class started, y'all. We ain't got long.
And sister, we ain't overlooking the issues you're having. We're just looking for a remedy for y'all. And this is what you call blood type of situation. Y'all intertwine in it. You know, unless we say, okay, we got a room for you over here, you got to get out of there. But y'all need to make a permanent move situation. We're going to pray for y'all, and y'all, but we just telling you, defend yourself to the best of your ability without it causing more harm to you.
That's right.
You already labeled you in a cult. And then if we decide to mob over there, take 10 brothers over there, what's going to happen then? You don't think they're going to ride back down here? Fire off some shots down here and run back out the door, hopefully before they can get away?
Ain't no getting away.
Innocent get hit. So that's where we at. Y'all in a situation that's gonna have to be mended because y'all gonna be dealing with each other. If your father's in that type of critical condition, you know, God forbid, you know, short time may be on the table. And the worst place that's gonna take place is y'all throwing blows at a funeral. Because that's where it's gonna come down to. Because now people are arguing about what you think you're gonna get. That's what it's all really about. Who gonna get what? Who in charge of what? They thinking you there so that you can get control of the assets. Y'all know what it's about? Yeah, she trying to take over now. Her ass wasn't here 2 months ago when he fell down the steps. Now they here. Oh, they trying to get their name put on the wheel and get us put out. You a liar.
Shit, we know our people.
Let's get up out of there, though, sis. Get up out of there.
I had 2 hands up in the back, sis all the way in the back, and then mama in the green hat.
Romans what?
16. Me and my friend were discussing the word. We got 2 scriptures, but
Romans 16 to 17.
Yeah. You know the one. Mark them that cause division.
Cause division, absolutely. Yeah, and you have to, and you mark it amongst yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And look, it don't make you a punk. Look, because every fight you start, you usually lose. So let them start it so you can win. See, that clears the mind of the one that got whooped. Because they feel something was with you. I was the one doing your head like this. And now I'm laying up like this with bandages on. I didn't know he had it in him. But they will leave you alone forever. But y'all, anything you go to start, if it's not righteous, y'all, you gonna lose. And every one of us got a losing fight, battle that they talk about. So y'all understand it clearly. I understand clearly the one I lost. When I heard him say, show him how you won that trophy. I'm like, wait a minute. What trophy? Is it track and field? Is it about basketball? No, it's about boxing.
Golden gloves.
Golden gloves. Show them how you won that trophy.
He said, what trophy?
And I started it. So I ain't started no more. And I've been victorious since.
Y'all ready to get started? Mama?
We was reading out of 1 Peter 4, and he's speaking on the service. What is reveling?
You said what's going on?
What is reveling?
Reveling is just wild fun. It's like you revel in party atmosphere. Is always that reveling and banqueting. See, they go together. Wild drinking, wild cussing, lies being told,
Yeah.
and he horn about boy.
A lot of ish talking.
All of that.
Yeah, reveling.
If I ain't the baddest mother in here, ain't no Jesus. Pour me another drink.
Yeah.
Wild reveling.
They do always come with parties, don't they?
With parties. And banqueting.
Uh-huh.
And the key word in there also, riot. Because somebody gonna join on the other side.
It's G2970. A revel, a carousal, a nocturnal or riotous procession of half-drunken and frolicsome fellows.
Yeah.
After supper parade through the streets with torturous and music in honor of Barabbas or some other deity.
Wild, drunken revelries.
Letting loose.
It's like a lot of times you'll have, if you cool and you happen to go out with some people at work and they tell you, come on, let your hair down. Man, loosen up. You know what that means. Start taking shots. And then when you start dancing on the table and pull your clothes off, you're going to see all of those pictures at work on Monday.
What happens with a warm Budweiser and a Yahoo?
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all know what it's going to bring. Y'all know what it's going to bring, so ain't no need in us getting caught up into that. But these scriptures are accurate, y'all, on behavior.
Yeah.
And the main thing they have to see is y'all know how to behave yourself. And if you in that same volatile situation, it ain't no relief from it. Somebody gonna get killed.
I got this reveling in the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. And here it says, a word used to designate any extreme intemperance and a lustful indulgence, usually accompanying pagan worship. Paul listed with murder as barring the way into the kingdom of Yah in Galatians 5:21. And Peter denounces it in 1 Peter 4:3. The word is translated riotous in Romans 13:13 and revel in 2 Peter 2:13.
Right, and y'all know what that brings. Once the fever pitch is hot, the police don't know who to separate from. They wait a minute, all y'all family? What they gonna do but say everybody go to jail at this point? Everybody got to go to jail at that point. If husband and wife arguing, they come and they ain't gonna choose side. They just gonna say, which one of y'all going to jail?
Who got warrants?
We got to do, somebody got to do 20 hours to cool the situation down. We got to separate one of y'all. And usually the man say, I'll go. Who say that? But because if you don't, you're going to get the brunt of it anyway. I mean, you go with eye all scratched up, but all it is a 20-hour cool-off period till we go to court. You can take your side, but look, 20 hours is better than going to a funeral.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Because that means 20 hours could turn into 20 years. You ain't got no problem doing 20 years, more power to you.
Yeah, whatever.
But you're gonna see what rioting and reveling is about on a 20 bid. Because that's all they doing in there. Fighting every day. You in a 6x9 with somebody you don't like. What's going to happen in that situation?
But he like you.
Right. Huh? We ain't gonna go no longer, y'all, because brother need to get his class started. Yeah, but we hope y'all understand that, sister, and we'll talk after if we need to. We'll wrap after as well. Okay? All right.
All right, well, look, I'm finna cut this class literally.
Don't cut it.
Don't cut it. Yeah.
Half and get straight to the point.
Okay.
All right, look, this lesson called A Set Apart People, Belief in Blood. You know what I'm saying? So basically, sitting up one day and I was asked a question. Somebody asked me, why were we the chosen people? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, why are we the chosen people? I understand we Israel. I understand we got the promise and all of that, but what really make us different from everybody else? And I'm like, what you mean? And he like, well, don't all of us come from Adam? Ain't all of us one family? And I'm like, damn, you're right. We all descend from Adam. Whether we like it or not, we all, everybody, every race descend from Adam and Eve. So that means, at one particular point, we all are family. Whether we want to accept that fact or not. So what makes us different? What makes us different? If we all come from one bloodline, what makes us different? We all come from the tree of who? Adam. So what makes us different? Huh? So why did he choose us?
Because, yeah.
Huh?
Because we were the fewest of all.
So he chose us because we was the few. I'm glad you said it. Let's start right there. Let's start right there. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7. Let's see if that's true or not, Hebrew. Let's see if he chose us because the fewest of all. Because I thought that too at one point. So he chose us because we was the fewest. Until I got to read, and I'm like, hold on, that don't say that.
Right.
Exactly. Come on, let's get it. So let's start at Deuteronomy 7. We're going to start at verse 1. Remember, it's a set apart people, belief in blood. There's a reason why belief is right next to blood. But we all come from the same blood, right? The blood of Adam. So what makes Israel so different? Let's get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
All of these are African nations. All these are Hamites. Come on.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Oh, that says 7 nations greater and mightier than that. He's talking to Israelites. So when did all this change? They were greater in number. They were mightier. They had the warriors. They had the soldiers. They had all the possessions in their land. Come on.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
You look up this word covenant, it says alliance. Say we weren't supposed to make no alliance with them people. Come on.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people.
You hear that? For thou art an holy people. You look up this word holy, it's telling you you're cleansed, you're sanctified, you're set apart. You're set apart. Come on.
Unto the Lord thy God.
So we set apart for the Lord. We set apart for the Lord. It's like you put 100 pennies on the table and he took a certain amount of ones and he put them in his pocket. That's what he did to us. We his treasures, we his possessions. But why? Come on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
You hear that? He did not only choose us, he chose us to be something special to himself. Special to himself. Come on.
Above all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all the people that's upon the face of the earth. But remember, we all come from Adam, so what makes us so different? We all got his blood in us, so what makes us so different? Come on.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
So he didn't choose us because we was the fewest. He just letting you know. Look, matter of fact, I don't love you because you was more than number. In fact, you're less than number.
Right.
So he didn't choose us because we was the few. He chose us for another reason. But PP said love. The Most High love us. Let's look up this word love. Let's look up this word love in Hebrew.
Hold on, let me read verse 8 before you do it. Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you.
You hear that? He loved us. When did the Most High start loving Israel? That's another question. Huh? When did he start loving Israel? Through Abraham. And his faith. That's why he chose us. He chose us by pure what? Faith. That's what changed the blood. Before then, we all were the same people. We all shared the same DNA. We all was the same. But the faith changed the bloodline. The faith changed the DNA. And this is actually going on today in life. We got Dr. Write this down, y'all. Look up this information. His name is Dr. Bruce Lipton. There's one source. Write it down when y'all get a chance. Dr. Bruce Lipton.
How you spell that?
Lipton, Lipton.
Lipton.
Lipton. You know I can't talk.
Yeah.
But check this out. He studied biology for 20 years, y'all. And he was working with people that had cancer. He never used medicine. But every patient he had got healed. Off of the belief that they can heal themselves. Showing you that belief changed what? DNA.
Yeah.
The belief changed your blood. We got another one. Dr. Brat Stinknucker.
Well,
did I chop it up?
Stekia.
Alright, look, don't give me
Stekia.
Look him up. He's an MD. He's been doing the same thing for 15 years.
What's his first name?
Brett.
Brett.
B-R-E-T. Look this stuff up. He healed people through belief on meditation. Fasting and meditation. Had diseases that they say that's uncurable. All is in their DNA. Their DNA changed off of belief.
Right. And y'all heard the term, like, because y'all call placebo tablets. They give you a pill and ain't nothing but a sugar tablet and tell you this is what's... Oh,
was this doctor.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
All right, now we got Dr. Marcola. M-E-R-C-O-L-A. He started healing people. People would get these diseases. He would give them tablets of white. It was nothing but sugar. It's all it was. And they will be healed off the belief that this sugar will heal them. They thought it was actually medicine. But it wasn't nothing but pills of sugar. And their bodies reconstructed themselves. Their minds reconstructed the DNA in their blood. It changed their bloodline. How was that possible? Through what? Faith. So before Abraham believed in anything, we wasn't no different than nobody. Ain't no difference in us. What makes us set apart is our what? Faith, our belief. Molly used to tell me this 5 years ago, man. Yo, our faith is so precious. And I used to always wonder what he meant by that. And I'm finally starting to see this is how precious our faith is. So when he say all Israel is not Israel, he mean that physically and DNA-wise.
Yes, sir.
Because you can be an Israelite, look just like me, come from the wombs of my same mother. But if I believe in Christ or Mashiach and you don't, guess what? Our DNA structures are totally different.
Right.
Because I believe and you don't. We're going to read it though. Let's keep reading, man.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your father.
You hear that? That's why. He just told you. He says he chose you because he loved you, and that he swore and he going to keep the oath that he made with our fathers. What was the first oath he made? It was to Abram. He said what? He made a covenant with him. He said, check them stars, count them, get up out of your city, go into this land. Abraham never doubted, and he moved. He moved. Letting you know that your name is an action. To be Hebrew, that is an action name. To be a Hebrew Israelite, that's an action. It's just not a word. You actually have to do works to be a Hebrew. And one of these works and one of these laws is what? Faith. Because without faith, you can't even please who?
God.
Meaning without faith, you can't get where?
To the kingdom.
In the kingdom. Point blank, period. Don't that level the playing field, though? You realize you like, I ain't no different than nobody. Especially if I don't have faith. So look up this word love, because it's something particular once you look up this Hebrew word and you start seeing that all these things came from Abraham. All these things. So like when we be praying and we always praying for everybody else, we need to be thanking the Lord for Abraham.
That's right.
We need to be asking for faith like him. Because his DNA was so different that his faith was so strong that his DNA is still in our bloodline today. How strong is that? Huh? You start looking up this. Amongst African Americans, I ain't even checked the other 12 tribes, I only checked us. Amongst African Americans, it's an adjective in our blood that's different from everybody else. Scientists still don't know what it is. It's called the covenant. It's this little adjective in our blood. It looks like little black molecules. Don't nobody else have it. What is that? It's called a covenant. Huh? The blood is by the belief. Belief changed your bloodline. And without this belief, you cannot inherit the kingdom of God. So then you start getting into blood, because it said flesh and blood won't inherit the kingdom of God, right? But in order for you to get this promise is by the blood. So what blood is it talking about? It's talking about the blood that he put in Adam before he fell into sin, before he came outside the garden, when he had the faith and when he was willing on and when he was believing, before he listened to his woman. You see what I'm saying? So you even have different types of blood. That's how precious faith is. It's mind blowing. What's up, brother?
So that's like with the covenant that he made with Abraham, and then us today seeing the faith of our people, whether they in the truth or not. Sunday morning, faithfully going to church, and everything that they say, it's whether they, wicked or evil, they still acknowledge God. So that's that faith, that's that bloodline that is still with us, and even like the rappers when they get their awards, they thank God for. Yeah,
that's still that belief on the whole, but then it's a different belief, okay? Right. So say they in church faithfully, right? They doing their thing. That's a worldly belief though. Right. That's a worldly law. You can be faithful to BS. That's what that is. So that's everybody can have that. I'm talking about when you faithful to this doctrine, when you know exactly who it is, when Christ ain't no lily blind white boy with blue eyes, when you know it's exactly a Mashiach to come out these scriptures, when you believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the different adjective that it's give us. Because believe it or not, you go to these churches, they faithfully there every Sunday. I bet you if you check their blood and check somebody like ours, it's going to be different, because we had the covenant. The covenant comes from the word. The covenant don't come from no church house. You know what I'm saying? It's the bloodline. And this is very selective few. Like you said, 1/3. A remnant. Literally.
And let me just say this before I get to your D. It's a measure of faith. So whether you in that doctrine or not, there's a measure of faith. Because we all came out of the church, the majority of us. So that measure of faith was there so that you could see the light. So they still get that being Israel, born of Israel. That's automatic in the blood.
Yeah.
But is it going to stay right there? Or is it the faith going to increase?
Exactly.
So that measure of faith every man gets, according to Romans 12. There's a measure of faith that he gives to everybody born in the womb that's Israelite. Dathan had a measure of faith. And y'all know he would make Clarence Thomas look like a Black Panther.
Yeah.
This how bootlicking he was, but guess what? He had blood on his doorposts. He came out of Egypt, but he failed when it came time to see has his faith increased. And that was in the wilderness. It had no increase. And that increase is the same as the parable the Messiah used about my usury, where my money. This man, I gave you 1 penny. What you do with the penny? Exactly. I turned it into 5 pennies. It's the same scenario. What you do, Lord, I kept that penny and hid it on my pillow. He called him a what kind of servant? Wicked servant. Because you stand right where you at. You ain't growing, or you ain't, you just right here. So basically you're like a fig tree that don't produce figs. So what is that good for? Firewood. To be burned in the fire. It's not producing. So anything that don't produce, so we have to be careful when we look at the church, because if they looked at us like that before we got it, do we feel the same? I mean, because it was Israelites talking about us before we came out to church. Look at that nigga right there in that yellow suit. And it was us.
Yeah.
We got Easter photos.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is though, when you really renew and you really reborn again in mind, that's when that DNA structure change. That's the whole point of being reborn again.
Yeah.
When you put off the old man, I'm not saying that you above a human being at all, but you certainly a different type of man at this time. And that bloodline change, and you see the bigger the faith, the bigger the miracle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we seen a lot of wonders happening before the promise of Abraham, right? But did y'all peep how the wonders and the miracles and the power turned up though? He started increasing in faith because of his belief. He said we ran in few and we ran off what? Many. Running fast as gazelles, jumping 9. We still doing it. Like it's something in our blood that's different from everybody else, but everybody got a niche of it, like he said. Everybody. Just like when we talk about the white man, we can't say that he don't have melanin. Of course he do, but of course it's not as much as us. You know what I'm saying? There's something different about the covenant in that blood, but everybody have a right to the kingdom. Everybody, if they have what? Faith. So that means other people's bloodlines change just like us. But he made a promise through our bloodline. And once you see it, and once he got the covenant, you see how things started changing, and it's mind blowing. And like the thing about it is we can go through science and link it up to scriptures and it'll blow your mind. Like you can actually heal your body by belief. So if you can heal your body by belief, if she had Messiah without having a man come into her by belief, then what else? What else can we not do by belief?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's how powerful this is. Everything works off of what? Belief. Without belief, there will be no miracles. That's just what it is.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. And if it don't mind, it don't matter.
Right.
Y'all can used to say that all the time.
Right.
All right, let's get it.
Go ahead, Hebrew. Go ahead.
All you said is zeal. We all have zeal.
Yeah.
But is it in the right place?
Right.
Yeah, exactly what he was just saying. Like everybody got that zeal because that's in us. Like for some, Hebrews go hard. We go hard at wickedness. We go hard at Christianity. We go hard at everything. But like when you go hard for that right thing, something changes. Something is different. And it's an additive in us, and it makes us will and work our way to help everybody else be reborn again for their DNA structure to change. Like, you know, everybody will tell you the only thing that don't change is DNA. But you start looking this up, man, that's the biggest lie ever told.
Right. It's
all doctors talking about this. And it changed quicker when you believe in it than you taking all these different types of things to change it. Showing you that your mind actually will, your soul and your body and everything in your entire being, your mind will it. It's your consciousness. It's the only thing that's going to the kingdom. That's what's going to be attached to your glorified body. So we see that faith changed your bloodline. That's what links us to Christ. Now you start getting into the blood. You see why he shedded his blood for us. You see why it had to be blood over the post. You see, like, we're going to get into it, though.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So let's finish this off. We're going to read this all the way down.
I'm going to finish verse 8 off. Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
So look up that word love, because he said he loved us, right? Everybody think they know what love is. So what is love?
It's H160, ahaba, love. Human love for a human object, or God's love to his people.
You hear that? God love to his people. It's an affection he had. It's an affection like when, as soon as he wake up, he wiped that jewel off. Before he do anything, he wiped the jewel off of it. You know what I'm saying? It says that we a treasure unto him. You know what a treasure is? When anybody, you see a Negro with a fat chain, before they wake up and I don't care if before they brush their teeth and put their shoes on, they gonna throw that chain around their neck. And they ain't gonna never leave out the house unless it's polished right. And that's how we is to the Most High. All because of he loved who? Us. But how did he love us if we weren't here yet? So he had to love somebody else, which is who? Abraham. So didn't he call Abraham his friend? Huh? So let's look at the scripture we called Abraham his friend, and let's actually look up this word friend and see what it matches. So what love say right there?
God's love to his people.
So God loved to his people. So he said he loved us. Go to 2 Chronicles 20, verse 7. Like, let's start looking up these words that'll blow your mind what friend means. So we see that love means a heb or a heba, right? What friend means in Hebrew.
And y'all, when he say these words, look these words up, every word have at least two definitions.
Yeah.
There's going to be a spiritual side and there's going to be a carnal side.
Okay.
You definitely have to look for the spiritual side first, because that's your first mind. That's the mind of the Lord telling you to look at it from this perspective first. You always have to look at it from that perspective first. So we have friends, we have spiritual friends, and we have carnal friends.
Right.
You know, if you find yourself saying, my carnal friends, or I understand them more than my spiritual friends, then you really don't have spiritual friends.
Right. Right. I need you to look up the actual word too. On that verse it says friend. I need you to look up that word. Yeah, 2 Chronicles 27 and Isaiah 49. And Isaiah 49. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Hey, can I read one verse?
Go ahead, bro.
Something you said. One of the verses where we started out in that Deuteronomy 7.
Yeah.
The second witness is Ezekiel 16.
Yeah.
You going there?
Yeah, I got it on the list.
Okay.
Go ahead, though.
At verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother a Hittite. And that's where, when we just read that in that Deuteronomy, he said he casted out all those nations for us.
Yeah.
You know, he got rid of all of them, and he said when we started out, that's where we were, in that land.
Yeah, that's why you notice he always called us strangers, pilgrims, and all of them.
And understand what that was too. That's the difference in Deuteronomy 7 being a prophecy about the people of Israel, and Ezekiel is a prophecy of the land of Israel. Because it starts off with Jerusalem, and then it said thy father was an Amorite. So you have to be careful. Some people think that means, so we Hamites?
Right.
But it's just telling you where your beginning was in the land of those. So the father of the land is he's basically just saying that that's where I started y'all out at, in the land that belonged to somebody else. So technically your birthplace was run by another nation or another people. It's not calling saying our physical fathers was Hamites and Amorites. It's just saying we were in the land of Canaan.
Right.
Like Abraham, he is our father.
Right.
And he not Amorite.
Right, absolutely, bro. Go ahead, bro. Huh? Children of Ammon, the offspring of Lot and his daughters in that wicked sex act. And that's the key. They were Shemites, where Lot was. So it changed, see, and like bro is saying, sin changes DNA. See, because of a wicked act of a father on a daughter, which has never ever been permitted from Genesis to Revelation, it changed the structure of the DNA. And they did a wicked thing because they got them drunk before they did it. Yeah. If it was righteous, they wouldn't have did it. So both of them did it both nights. Loaded them up on wine, basically pulled a Bill Cosby on them. Right. Threw a Mickey in his wine. A Mickey in there with Viagra, and he was, and they went to work 2 nights in a row. One was the Amorites and one is the Moabites. So it changed the whole structure of the DNA because that was a wicked act. And they knew it was wicked because they said, we got to get him drunk. He ain't gonna do it if we get him drunk. If we don't, if he's sober, because he knows he's not supposed to go into the door, because Lot was a righteous man. You have to think, there was 5 cities and only 5 people got to come out of 5 cities. So I want you to think about St. Anne, Ferguson, St. Louis, and Jennings, and Berkeley. All the people in them 5 cities, 5 people come out of 5 cities. That's all got saved. And then all of them dropped off. The wife dropped off, so now you down to 4. You know, well, I should say 4 people came out. I'm sorry. 4 people came out. Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters. So out of all them people that came out, 4 people, she lost it coming out. Mm-hmm. Now I want you to think about, she came out off of Lot's faith. His daughters came out after his faith. So you can save a household up to the point of where is your increase. Yeah. So y'all, this is why we have to be careful in turning away from our family. You have to let them see the light, because after they get to the increase, you're not responsible for them anymore. They on their own at the increase mark, and it's called the rod. That every soul have to pass up under the by yourself under the rod. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink the rod.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You at that point, they on their own. They'll see it, they'll get there, and at that point, y'all know how many souls, we had more souls drop in the wilderness than we did in Egypt. Y'all think about that. A ground opened up and buried 3,000 souls and covered the ground back up in the wilderness. This after we came out of Egypt. So what was hard heading is at most right in the righteous spot to get you prepared to go into the kingdom. More souls dropped there. And I'm talking about everybody 20 years and up. Kill all of them, the Lord said. Everybody 20 years and up, put them to death.
Just think if we was to exit this out of here right now. Everybody that's in here over 20. That's a good thought, brother.
Come on, let's get it. Let's look up the word friend. See what this word friend means.
2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 7. Are not thou our God, power?
You need to change. Is it 720 or is it 27?
27. What is going on?
And I'm right with you. I'm like,
I got this word.
Act like I ready to throw rocks or something.
Right. That's good looking out though.
2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 7.
Y'all remember what love meant in Hebrew, right? Heva, right? Heva means love in Hebrew. And he said that he didn't love us because we're many. Matter of fact, we was few. He loved us because of what? The oath that he swore unto our father Abraham. So let's look up this other word. Come on, let's read that.
2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 7. Are not thou our God, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever.
Thy who?
Thy friend forever.
So look, he called Abraham his friend forever. Let's look up this word friend. And let's see the definition of friend.
It's H157. Aha.
What is it?
Aha, almost.
It's the same. Only different. It's ahab and oheva. Both mean love. So when you say friend in Hebrew, there's no such thing as friend in Hebrew. It means love. His loved one. That's family. So Abraham was family to God by his faith. So when he said, I loved y'all, I didn't love y'all because y'all were few. I loved y'all because the oath that I gave your father. The only reason why we Israel is because the faith of Abraham.
That's right.
So then it gets to the thing, what happened if somebody else had the faith and it didn't get Abraham? Then who would be the chosen people then? I'm just trying to put y'all in the mindset of like, we literally, only reason why we chosen and peculiar and special is because the faith that our forefather had. And Dan just said everybody else gonna have to pass on that rod, because right after Abraham, he did the same covenant with who? His son, Isaac. Right after Isaac, he did the same covenant with who? With Jacob. We all gonna have to go through our own covenant within our own selves and have to test our own faith individually. Come on.
H157, aha, to love. Human love for another. Human love for or to God. Act of being a friend. God's love toward man. Lovely friends, lovers, definition and prime root, to have affection for.
You hear that? To have affection for. So the Most High loved Abraham, and by him loving Abraham, he loved who? Us. So now we see, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. We actually see what he's meaning when he's talking about that. And it's all based off of faith. Because without faith, you can't please God. And faith is what changed your bloodline. Faith is how you inherit the kingdom. Because if you have faith and you got the works, and faith without works is dead, that means you're keeping what? The commandments. It all goes into one thing. But all of this wouldn't even have happened if Adam and Eve wouldn't have sinned. Wouldn't be no point in none of this. Christ would have never had a reason to manifest in flesh and come even shed his blood if it wasn't for Eve and Adam sinning in the garden.
That's right.
Y'all get what I'm saying? So because of this thing, he had to test somebody, because Christ had to come and shed his blood for us to redeem us from our sins. So he needed a nation, a holy people, for he can bring his son through. And guess who made the cut? Abraham. And guess who loins we coming up out of? Abraham. It's a beautiful thing. Come on. Let's get back to Deuteronomy. Finish that off real quick, and then we're going to keep it pushing.
How far are you going down on that?
Let's go down to 19.
19?
Deuteronomy.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to go down to 19.
7 verse 9.
You're going down to what verse up?
19.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 9, where we left off.
20.
Here we go. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God.
You hear that? The faithful God. He's so faithful, that's why it's required for you to have what? Faith. Notice he don't never ask nothing of you that he ain't gonna do himself. Same thing with Abraham. Everything he asked Abraham, he did himself. Huh? He even gave Abraham a sheep for he wouldn't have to sacrifice his son. All because he knew Abraham was going to do it. But he actually sacrificed his son for us, didn't he? So you see, he ain't putting no burdens on us that he won't take on himself.
That's right.
That's how faithful he is. That's how merciful he is. He's faithful because of the blood. He's merciful because of the blood. And we're going to show this. Like, blood is so important. And that's why, look, blood is mentioned in the scriptures 423 times. And every time you read it, at least half of them have something to do with belief. With every covenant he made with us, it had to have been a blood covenant. He even did it down into your marriages. In order for you to consecrate your marriage, it has to be a blood covenant. What do y'all think sex is? Like every covenant that he created, blood has to be involved in it. Because life is in the what? The blood. That lets you know that faith changes the structures of your DNA and your bloodline. All off of your belief. Come on.
Which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
To 1,000 generations. That's why it trickled down. The blood trickled down to us. And it'll keep going long as we obtain the what? The faith. Come on.
And repayeth them that hate him to the face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
You hear that? So he pay you back to your face. He don't get you when you ain't looking. He like, look, this is what you get. This is why you getting punished, because you did this and that. Imagine him letting you share part of his blood, letting you be a peculiar treasure onto him, and then you turn your back on him. Huh? Imagine one of y'all children's turning their back on you, or one of your children's not believing in you. That gotta hurt. Huh? When your son don't believe in you, you don't have faith in me, and I created you, you came from my Lord? Come on.
Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which I command thee this day, to do them.
To do what?
To do them.
So it's showing you that if you ain't got no faith, you ain't keeping the commandments. Why keep them? What's the point? You don't believe. What is the alternative goal here? Like, what is the end game? So if you out here constantly sinning and you still worrying about the same sins and you falling from the same sword every day, you lack faith. A lot of people ask for a lot of things, but people do not be praying and asking for faith. When that's the key component to all of this. Because with the commandments come faith. You have to believe first, then you work. You can't work yourself into belief. We never read that. They believed it, then they went to work. Faith without works is dead. So if you steady breaking these same commandments on the other side of midnight, then you have a faith problem. That's a faith problem. That's a belief problem going on. Because obviously you don't believe in heaven or the lake of fire. Because if you really did believe that you're going to burn from eternity, that was really seared in your conscience, and you was really persuaded in your mindset, you wouldn't be out here doing the same sin over and over again. So this lets you know that your bloodline is different. You're not Israel. All Israel ain't Israel.
That's right.
Come on, Hebrew.
Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye therefore hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy father.
Now you hear that? That's a key factor. He said if you keep these commandments, only way you can keep commandments is by being in the faith. He said that's the way he gonna keep the covenant. Oh, meaning the covenant can be taken away. But look, so look, here go to catch 22, right? How can it be taken away if God never go back on his word? He can't lie, right? And he gave the covenant to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that covenant will never leave. But us as individuals, the covenant can leave. Because when you're not keeping the commandments, you're not Israel. Y'all see that?
Absolutely.
So the covenant can leave if you breaking his laws. Because if you breaking his laws, you can't have the faith. Come on.
And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, the increase of thine kind and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
You hear that? All because of faith. Because you believe in your father. He giving you a household. He giving you the food. He giving you the water. All because you believe. You keeping his commandments. You ain't got to worry about nothing. He got you. You part of his family. His DNA is constructed inside of you. But if you don't have the faith, then that's another different story. So like I'm saying, a lot of people, we think that we have a sinning problem. We do have a sinning problem because we have a faith issue.
That's right.
It's the faith. That's the root of all problems. Negro, you don't believe, because if you did, you wouldn't do it. Huh? If my mama tell me don't go in the refrigerator, and I went in that refrigerator and I got my butt whooped, you think I'm gonna go in the refrigerator again? No. So obviously I don't believe she gonna. Then we got some people you call fools. They just don't care anyway. I'm just saying.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, just glutton. Just want to get their butt whooped. But y'all see how important faith it really is. Faith, like you can literally heal your body if you believe you can. Huh? Look this up, y'all. Write this down too. Women becoming pregnant without having sex. Come time to give birth to the baby and nothing is there. Nothing comes out. Their stomach grows. It be a heartbeat and everything. You heard about that, sis? Look, over 80,000 cases of this. That's how powerful your mind is. Walking around, getting ultrasounds, heartbeats. Come time to give birth, there's nothing there. How is that even possible? Huh? What it say? Through God, everything is what? Possible. I don't think y'all feeling it, man. I don't know.
They're like, now wait a minute, boy, you sure that ain't gas?
What's up, brother?
What was on this faith today, the scriptures say that God has given every man, like the brother was saying, that he's given every man a measure of faith.
His own measure of faith. His own measure of faith.
His own measure of faith.
Yeah.
Right? So is it improper to try, instead of asking for faith, to exercise that faith rather than ask God for something that he's already given?
No, because you can lose faith. Just like you can lose the covenant that's within you. It's a lot of people that come in with the belief and get sluggish and fall off. Or somebody can be going hard and watch a YouTube video. Now they don't believe in it at all no more. All faith mean in Hebrew is amun. Amunah, amen. That's why you say amen at the end of your prayer. It means I believe. Everything I just asked you for, I believe is true. So no, ask him to, I mean, if you feel in your heart that you already got the faith, obviously you got to have faith to be praying anyway. I mean, otherwise, why you hollering? So ask him to increase it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And multiply it, because we gonna need it. Because look, we ain't been tested yet. We ain't got tested like Abraham. He told him to kill his son, sacrifice your son.
Who went through that?
And ask yourself, if he told you to do it, would you really? You know what I'm saying? Would you really? You know what I'm saying? He told him, look, get up out of thy land and cross over the Euphrates River.
I do that.
Huh?
I do that.
Look, he said, take your family, all of that, and leave. He got up and left. He just got up and left. Huh? What about Paul? Like, what about Abraham? He look, I know I ain't finna see the kingdom. I know I ain't gonna see it in this lifetime, but he still did everything he was supposed to do. Who was doing that?
That's right.
We get work. We work one day. We ready to get paid as soon as we leave. As soon as we leave, nigga, where my money at?
Right.
As soon as we leave, though.
Yeah.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. This man, he well stricken in years. And he told him, look, it was so crazy. We're going to read it. Let me quit talking. Let's read it. Let's read it.
Verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle.
Didn't he keep that? Huh? Because didn't Sarah give birth? Huh?
Rachel,
right. We keep
Elizabeth.
it going. Come on.
And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness.
You hear that? So faith take away what? Sickness. Because, look, faith is a part of the covenant. And all of these are attached to the covenant. If you keep my covenant, if you keep my commandments, I won't take your covenant. And a part of this covenant is what? I'm going to take away all sickness. I'm going to put you in the land that's yours. You're going to have all these treasures, these cattle. Won't none of your women be barren. Huh? You're going to multiply in these days. He's telling you, I am going to change your DNA structure and put my God particles in you if you believe. And Abraham like, of course. Huh? Why not? Why not? It wasn't even rolling the dice with him. He knew that it was real. And he got up and he left. Notice right after he crossed over that river, and crossing over, passing over means a bar. A bar means Hebrew. Soon as he crossed over, what happened? His name got changed. After the covenant, his name was changed. And everything that the Most High said he was going to do for him, he did. Huh? Y'all know what Abram mean? Abram mean the exalted father. He told him, cross over this river, get up and walk. And he said, if you listen to me, I will multiply your seeds on earth. As soon as he crossed over, he changed his name to Abraham. Y'all know what Abraham mean? Father of many nations. So you see the actual faith and the heritage and the blood covenant is attached to the name Hebrew.
That's right.
Like it's an action word. It's an action word, but you don't get it unless you have what? Belief. Without belief, you are nothing. You're a walking dead doorknob. That make any type of sense? No. And then
dead as a doorknob.
You're dead as a doorknob. Right. Y'all know what I was trying to say, man. Right. Off me, man.
He was talking about the walking dead. And will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee.
Y'all hear that? When all them plagues was going down in Egypt, what happened? Did we get hit? No. Why didn't we get hit? Because the blood that was over the doorpost. The faith is in what? The covenant. The covenant is in what? The blood. They all together. All together. It's all redemption. It's redemption in the blood. And that same blood, when you believe, is inside of you. That means you can be saved from anything but the first death, of course. But the first death. We all got to take the dirt now. This is what it is. Come on, Hebrew.
But will lay them upon all them that hate thee.
That hate thee. If you hate him, that means you're not keeping what? His commandments. It's two ways with him. You either keeping the commandments and you love him, meaning that he have befriended you, or you hate him and you're an enemy, meaning you're not keeping the commandments. Meaning you have no faith in you whatsoever. Remember, belief come with the covenant. When you believe, you get the covenant. When you believe, your DNA structure changed. You are a new man. You are born again. Now you can say, I am a new creature. Yeah, test my blood. It ain't gonna add up to yours. Because I'm different. Because I believe. Huh? What they be calling? They got a name for it. I think they call them pseudo-Christians or something. Like they basically say like we crazy. Like we just crazy for the Lord. We all in. We put all our eggs in one basket. And we put all our chips in for Christ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we most definitely do. Come on, bro.
And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee.
You hear that? So he's telling you what's going to mess up this faith and belief. Don't go filling in with other gods. Don't go into these lands and start taking on their practices. Huh? Because now you hate me. That takes that covenant out of your blood. Remember Dan was saying, just like the covenant, the faith can change your blood DNA on a righteous level. If you keep sinning, that changes your blood too. By belief. Look this stuff up. Check the names and every source that I gave y'all to blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. Come on, Hebrew.
If thou shalt say in thine heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispose of them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt.
You hear that? So now he's giving you something for your faith to look back on. Right. As soon as you get fearing, as soon as you start fearing, he's like, look, don't be afraid. I'm your shield. Remember what I did to Egypt? Right. Huh? Did David lack faith when he killed that big old giant? No, he had faith. It was already done. It was considered done. He's like, look, I'll be right back. We gonna slingshot this heathen real quick, and I'll be right back. It's uncircumcised heathen, and I'm right back. That's that faith. Y'all seen how powerful? So I'm like, who is this little cat? See that what I'm saying? So like your faith even changed your size. Like you small, but you big in there. You like, man, because you confident. You confident. And that's what that faith is. It's the confidence and assurance of the hope that God gave you. You know what I'm saying? It makes you walk different. It makes you walk, stumping a little harder. I got the faith of a Mashiach. Come on, Hebrew.
The great temptations with thine eyes saw, and the signs and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid.
You heard that? All the people of who we are afraid of. Who else is trotting us down to this day? Don't sound like great Babylon, America? So if we have the faith, remember, faith brings wonders and miracles. And he said there's going to be way more wonders and miracles on how he brought us out of Egypt. It's going to be way more from when he brings us out of Babylon. If we keep the faith. If we have the faith and the belief. Because with faith and with God, all things are what? Possible. Come on.
We're going on down.
19. Exodus. After we hit this one, we're going to jump. We get up and do a sit down and put everything down. Exodus 19, 1 through 6. Let's do it tomorrow, the kick thing. Let's do it Monday.
Hey, let me know not to get them try to feed Matthew.
Okay.
Exodus who?
Exodus 19.
Before I do that, can I do this? I don't know if you're coming back to friend, but I just want to read the friend because we have to, when we pattern ourselves after, being that we dealing with carnal and sin, the friend that Abraham became to the Most High, our test is to see if we can become a friend with who we at with war every day. Can you get a friend throughout that, that you call your friend, that there's a friend like Abraham and the Most High was with you and somebody in the spiritual walk.
Right.
So I just want to hit a little bit of the Sirach, chapter 6. I don't know if you can get it up, man. But this is dealing with a friend, and Proverbs always talk about friends too. They say there's a friend that stick closer than a brother.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your blood brother. You got a partner you can call before you will call your own family members.
David and Nathan.
So, and that was David and Jonathan, yeah. So we see that happen, but this is a little bit of instructions for us.
You say chapter, what you read?
Chapter 6, Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 6. And the Apocrypha, Mal gonna put it up on the board. And y'all, just a little bit of understanding, because once we come into this faith, like he's saying, all Israel is not Israel. Nah. You can have people sitting down here and so far away from what we talking about is night and day.
Yeah.
Ain't got a clue, going spaced out, going somewhere else. Yeah. You just see some people looking off like this. You be like, what they doing, huh? What? Yeah. What they doing? What? On the moon, that's where you was at?
Hey, for real, that blood
just gone.
They not even thinking the same. They whole DNA structure is different. We look alike, but you get to work in that blood, we different people. All Israel ain't Israel.
Yeah, the belief is very powerful. It used to be a boy who used to study with us a few years ago who thought because his name was Chris and his father was from the south side of Chicago, that he actually was the Christ the Bible was speaking of.
Right.
That was a few years ago.
Yes, sir.
Last they seen him, he was walking out 70 West toward Lake St. Louis, claiming he was on a mission from Obama to assassinate the Pope. Yeah, he almost got laid down behind it. You know what I'm saying? But he used to sit up in here all the time, man.
They spared him.
Yeah, until one day he called some of us and was like, "Look, y'all gonna quit hating on me." Like, what you mean we gonna quit hating on you? Who is this? Man, you know me, man. I get a large sum of money all the time. Like, bro, I don't even count them. Who is this?
You're right.
You feel me? They had to send me a screenshot of the brother. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I do recognize dude. He said, look, man, I'm Christ. I'm here to let everybody know. My daddy from the south side of Chicago.
Right.
My mama named Bertha.
Right. And they was calling her because they didn't know how he was born. So He said them prophecies lined up with him. Wait a minute. Your mama got the wrong name. You're in the wrong city. And your name is Chris, not Christ. But I'm telling y'all,
I used to sit right there and fall asleep. I was talking about the church. No.
If y'all don't believe it, I got the text messages he sent me trying to explain to me how he's Christ.
Yeah. He called me that morning too. I had to give him a tongue last year.
Yeah, he did.
When he got arrested, he couldn't deliver himself.
Yeah.
Right. All right, y'all, here we go. Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 6.
Hold on, I'm almost there. What verse?
Okay. Verse 1, we're just going to read 1 through 17 real quick. And it gives, I'm going to read through it, y'all. We ain't going to stop and edify too much because I want brother to hurry up and get right back to his class because we're putting him behind a little bit.
In the 5 now. There we go. Can y'all see it out there? Do I need to blow it up?
Yeah, blow him up a bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all the way to the end. Yeah, hit him again.
Another one?
Yeah, hit him again. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy. For thereby shalt thou inherit an ill name, shame and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying along. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. But be in peace with many. Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. Prove him first. And be not hasty to credit him.
Hey, ain't that what God did to Abraham? He tested him first. Then he said, hey, I love you. Remember we looked at the word love? That's what friend was. So we see even the Most High, everything he tell you to do, he be doing it. Come on.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
That's right.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble. And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
You heard that? When the table cool and all the plates on, the food around, he look, hey, that's your buddy. As soon as that table come up empty and that refrigerator empty, he ain't nowhere to be found.
But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants.
That's crazy.
Giving them orders, huh?
Right. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
You hear that? Who was that name? Soon you down bad, he don't want nothing to do with you. Right. You embarrassment now. But when he was up, he was on the passenger side the whole time.
Right.
Huh? I mean, everybody ain't your friend.
Yeah. Right.
Don't be hasty just to credit everybody. Like, that's your partner. Everybody's not your friend, and everybody don't got your best interest in mind.
No, not at all. Quick to hop in the car with you, but when you ride in the bus, they be like, shit.
Right. The scriptures don't call you to be gullible.
Right.
Don't be gullible in spirit.
Yeah. I mean, look, Pete, even the Most High tested Abraham before he called him a friend.
That's right.
And he took him through some real tests before it was counted to him as righteousness. So we even see that with God himself. So if he testing people to be called a beloved friend, what we supposed to be doing? You know what I'm saying? The same thing. Be Christ-like, right? All right. Come on.
Try the spirit.
Yeah.
Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friend.
You hear that? If that's an enemy, stay away from him.
Yeah.
If that's a friend, hey, sit at the gates. Let's build. We can build. Huh? Separate yourself from your enemies. They bringing you barley horn, stay the hell away from them. Come on.
A faithful friend is a strong defense. And he that hath found such an one
hath found a treasure.
Now, didn't God say that he chose us to be a treasure unto him? Because he found a what? A faithful friend, which was Abraham. That's beautiful. Come on, bro.
Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend.
Beautiful.
And his excellency is invaluable.
You see that too. He's seen so much in that he said, hey, curse those who curse you and bless those who bless you. I rock with you that much. You so much of a friend to me. You so faithful to me. I'll lay a whole nation down for you. That's a friend. And he said a friend is a strong defense. Ain't that a strong defense right there? Huh? We all need God as our friend.
Yes, sir.
He's the storm maker, the water maker. I need him as my friend.
That's right.
He make things happen. Straight up. Ain't that a benefit?
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro.
A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
Ooh, boy.
And they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also.
That's a good script right there.
Read 18.
Read 18.
Script right
Go ahead, y'all. Read 18. I close.
My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom to thine old age.
That's right.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let's get to this Exodus. Exodus 19, 1-6. Yeah, that was right on time.
So y'all understand how to deal with a friend. A friend, we're not looking for fair weather friends. As long as it's sunshine, blue skies, they your partner, dapping you up.
Fair weather Israelites.
Boy, but soon as the storm come, phone going to voicemail. You have reached your almost friend, but I ain't here to help you out of that situation. Click up, leave a message at the beat. OJ found out he didn't have no friends. When he did. Hello, Bill. Click up. Hello, Bob. Click up. No friends left when you're doing that type of deal. Ain't gonna be no friends around. And like we tell you, this is my brother, this is my best friend. But he always told me, if you come over here running from the police, you done killed somebody, keep running, because I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to tell them you went west, you go east. But that's it. You can't run over here with your transgressions. And y'all, that's just the way it have to be. You can't take on nobody else's drama and be involved with that. If you in the car, know who you in the car with. They get to a point and you see it ain't going right, let me out the car, though.
Boys in the hood.
Boys in the hood, let me out the car, though. Sit on the bus stop and let them go. Because a friend ain't going to allow you to put your life in danger and all your children and people suffer behind them telling you to come with me to do evil.
Man. I mean, remember what friend means. It means love.
Your partner tell you if he hot, and I'm hot, man.
Right. He should. I'm hot, dog.
You don't even want to be around me right now. That's what's up.
Yeah, straight up.
Good luck.
So we can go pass that down to Zed.
Yeah, let's go get
Zed. You can get that now.
We had Exodus 19, 1-6. And then we're going to go and get all the way to the lesson real quick, get to the point.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they unto the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mountain. And Moses went up unto Yahweh, and the Lord came unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians.
Y'all see the thing about our Father? He always go back to what he did for us before, letting us know we got a short memory. Like, keep this on your mind. Like, all right, keep this on your mind. You steady out here stanky leg and sinning. Look, remember what I did for y'all. Remember what I did for your forefathers. Remember the promise I made. Remember that faith. Come on.
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant.
And keep what?
And keep my covenant.
Why do we always go back to that? Obey my voice, keep my covenant. You know how many times he done said that in scripture? Go to your mouse words and type that in. Look how many times he done said that. It'll blow your mind. He got to constantly remind things to us, constantly repeat itself.
What's that? What's going on back there? Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Look, handling.
Somebody getting handled.
Rod of correction.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Above what?
Above all people.
Didn't we just read that? Come on.
For all the earth is mine.
You hear that? He said, for all the earth is his. So if all the earth is his, and we have the same bloodline as him, as long as we keep in the faith, then that makes the earth what? Ours. Huh? Come on.
And ye shall be unto me, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
Hold on. And you see what?
And holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
So not only did he choose us, not only did he befriend us and call us his love, not only are we special and a peculiar people, but we also a holy nation of priests unto him. You see that? So this covenant actually come with a job. Huh? We not only fearing him and keeping his commandments, this truth got to go forth, right? So how can you teach something you don't even believe in? So don't you have to have faith for that? See, this faith opened up doors and different opportunities for us. So not only did he choose us to be a treasure, a peculiar people, not only did he change our DNA bloodline, but when he changed our DNA and he put his blood in us, he gave us a job to do.
That's right.
And that job was to what? Push this truth.
That's right.
So how can you push truth if you don't even believe in truth? All Israel ain't what? Israel, because Israel is a holy nation of what? Priests. See how it all link up? So if you lack that faith, you lack everything else. If you lack that faith, you lack everything else. That's how strong belief is, because this is a belief system. That's all the Bible talk about is belief. That's what it was constructed upon. We believe, look, I can't even say it right without saying we believe first. We believe that a Mashiach is a Mashiach because we believe in the scripture.
That's right.
See how many beliefs I just said? Like, you can't even talk, it's all founded off belief. So if you believe that the scripture is tampered with, then you can't be Israel.
You ain't got no belief.
You have no belief. Well, you do, but you don't believe in the true belief. Like, everything is belief. Everybody believes in something. An atheist believes that there is what? No God. But he still what? Believes.
Right.
Evolution.
Right.
Evolution. Right. Come on.
That's it.
Number 6. Well, read 6 one more time.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
All right, let's get it. Genesis 12. Let's get to some
right
comprehension. We're going to go right to it. We ain't got enough time. We're going to get straight to the point. Genesis 12. We're going to start at 1. Start at 1. Genesis 12, let's start at 1, y'all. Remember, a set apart people, belief in blood. We ain't got to that blood yet. We're gonna talk about it. Let's get it done.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee.
You hear that? So he's like, look, leave your land and walk. I'll show you the land to go to. I ain't gonna give you the land, but get up out of your country and leave.
Your country, not just your city.
Right.
Leave the United States and go move to Yemen.
Man.
Go move to Saudi Arabia.
And from your kindred.
Yeah, you ain't related to nobody there.
Yeah, and Pete, he haven't even showed him yet. Yeah. He haven't even showed him where he going. He just told him, get up and I will show you. Once you start moving, then I'll show you.
Right.
You see the test? Right. Huh? Yeah, believe me, then I'll show you. And we gonna start reading to blow your mind with Abraham. He didn't doubt. But he like, Most High, where is what you promised me at? I know it's coming, but I like, what's up with it?
Right.
Like, we gonna read it, come on.
And y'all think about the book of Eli from this perspective at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Come on with it, bro.
Verse 2, and I will make of thee a great nation.
You hear that? So he's telling them to do something right up off of it, he promised. Because remember, anytime he says something, it's a promise because it can't be turned back. So if he do say it's a promise, it's even more than that. Like the only commandment with a promise. Right. Meaning he's paying he's paying more attention to this than a lot of other things. So he tell him, he said, get up and leave, and he'll do what?
Make thee a great nation.
Come on.
And I will bless thee, and make thy name great.
Come on.
And thou shalt be a blessing.
You hear that? So he said he's going to make him a great nation. He's going to make his name great. Now we know that your name is attached to your authority. Your authority is attached to your children. And he said what? And he going to what? He said, and thou shalt be a blessing. Come on.
And thou shalt be, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee.
Yeah.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Come on.
So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him.
You hear that? So he heard that. He like, well, let me go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You finna make all these things happen. I believe, so let me do what? Work. Let me move on it. See how faith come with action? You can't believe and sit on your butt. There's no such thing as that.
Right.
No such thing. Come on.
So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old.
You hear that? He's 75 years old. Huh? He got up and he's leaving the country. Come on.
When he departed out of Haran, and Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through.
And it says Abram did what?
Passed through.
And Abram passed through. Let's look up this word, pass through. You keep reading. Somebody look it up though. If anybody got
Is it all together like that?
Yeah, it's gonna be in there. Okay. Go ahead, keep reading.
Can it go
it should be right. It should be in there. Go ahead.
And Abram passed through the land into the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh. And the Canaanite was then in the land.
Come on.
And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land.
So look, Abram had the faith, he did what he had to do. Right off back, the Lord said, what? Unto thy seed. Unto thy seed. He's not even talking about him. Notice he ain't even got seeds at this time. He
75 years old.
75 years old, don't have no seeds, but he listened to what Yahweh told him. As soon as he get there, he say, look, into your seed, I'm going to give you this land. So naturally, in his head, he like, I ain't got no seed. Like, how is this going to be possible, right? Come on.
Unto thy seed will I give this land, and there builded he an altar unto the Most High, who appeared unto him.
And notice, whenever the Most High appeared to anybody, they always built an altar. They marked the place where the Most High appeared himself at.
That's right.
Come on.
And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hayan on the east.
Right.
And there he built an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south.
Right.
And there was a famine in the land. And Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill thee, but they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake.
You can leave it right there. So read verse 6 again. We're going to look at this word. Verse 6.
5674. In Hebrew.
Abor.
Okay.
Yep, it's Abor.
I'll read it right there.
You click on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to, yeah, just click on it.
There we go. That it?
Yeah, read that verse again real quick.
And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land.
So look, we see Abraham going to the land that the Most High told him to go to. He didn't doubt, he picked up his stuff, he got his family, and he went into the land that he was told to go into, right? So it says, and Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem. Let's look up this word pass through.
And pass through is a bar or a var.
A bar. So what do a bar mean, y'all? A bar means Hebrew. It means to pass over. Same thing for the word Passover, a bar. So anytime somebody believe, or anytime somebody is going from a physical to a spiritual sense, or being reborn by belief, what comes with that name? A bar, because you're passing over. You're crossing over into a different realm. You're crossing over into a different mind state.
That's right.
Huh? A-B-A-R, a bar, or a bar.
Yes, an action.
Hebrew, it's an action. It's an action. Meaning you can't be a Hebrew Israelite unless you're doing the work. And the only way you can do the work is you have what? Faith.
That's right.
Come on.
Yeah, like if he told Abraham to leave and he didn't leave. I mean, he would have never passed through the land of promise. He would have never did whatever that the Most High had for him. That means he would lack the faith, and then he didn't have the action to show that he really believed in the Most High. Because the root word for Hebrew is a bar. It's a verb. When you say Hebrew, you're just saying Eber or a bar or Ebri. You're putting the extra letter at the end of it, saying I have passed over or I passed through. It's the same concept when you're saying you've been born again.
That's right.
You've been your mind. You transformed your mind. You don't live the same way you used to live. You live with the rest of your life dedicated to the will of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
So being a Hebrew is the same concept as being born again. But again, it's action behind it. You ain't no sitting duck. You understand? It's faith, and whatever the Most High commands you do, you believe it, and you get her done.
Yeah. So it's all founded off of what?
Yeah.
Believe, faith.
That's right.
And that's what changes your bloodline. That's what makes you a Hebrew Israelite. It's your faith, and your works follow the faith. We never seen nowhere in the Bible where they believed and didn't work. It's no such thing.
Faith without works is what?
It's dead.
So the Most High ain't come or send His Son for you to have dead faith.
That's right.
Feel me? You believe, but there's no work to back up nothing. You just playing with your thumbs.
And don't forget, faith is a law. It's a law. You have to keep that law. Come on.
You still in it when you stop at
Yeah,
verse
a
6, y'all
bar.
still going.
To pass over, by, or through. Alienate, bring, carry, do away, take away, transgress, to pass over, cross over, pass over, march over, overflow over, to pass beyond.
To pass beyond, to pass over.
You got a feast called to pass over?
Yeah. And didn't he pass over us? A bar, which means Hebrew. See, it's an action word, but it's all funded off of belief in blood. All of it is.
To cause to pass over, cause to bring over, cause to cross over, make over, dedicate,
dedicate,
devote.
Devoted. So you can't be like, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and you ain't got no works out here?
Right.
No, player, you's a Negro.
Yeah.
It's flat out what it is. It's what you are.
You're African.
Yeah, you the very names they gave you, because you're not even living up to the actual characteristics of your name. And the only way you can do that if you have the faith to do it, because without faith, works are dead. From there, let's go to Genesis 15. Let's read a little bit about this covenant, get into it. A set apart people. So we set apart by what, y'all?
Faith.
Our faith. So without faith, is we different from anybody else? Honestly. No. At all. Not at all.
Yeah, that means you're a non-believer. You don't believe.
That's right.
So you're in the same boat they
Same boat as them.
It's no difference. You don't believe and he don't believe.
Right, so lake of fire for both of y'all. Let's get it done. Yeah. No, we finna read this whole chapter.
Genesis 15, you starting at verse 1?
Yep. Read a couple more scriptures.
Still. Yeah.
Weak in belief.
That's still you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of the Most High came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield.
You heard that? I am your shield. Huh? Shield of David, huh? Shield of Abraham too. Yeah. Huh? Just show ain't no hexagram, whatever, pentagram, whatever you call that thing. Huh?
And so where did David hear this from? So David got the same understanding. Abraham didn't have on no 6-pointed star. And he way before David.
Yeah.
So, but both of them say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
The Lord is my shield.
That's right.
And notice what he told him. He said, don't be afraid. So what happened that Abraham was kind of shook up? Y'all forgot they had pitched their tent. Huh? Lot had pitched his tent by Sodom and Gomorrah. War then came into the land of Canaan. And Lot was a casualty of war. They came and got him. So Abraham had to train up 300 of his trained men, gather them up, go get his son back. He done went to war. And he done left back out. So of course it's a thing called retaliation. Abraham like, I got all this spoil, I done got all these things, I ain't accept nothing from him. But Abraham like, man, they might come back to retaliate. So he's sitting up thinking about all this stuff. The Most High done appeared like, look, man, you don't need to be afraid about nothing. I'm your shield. Abraham believed. Come on.
I am thy shield. And thy exceeding great reward.
You hear that? Not only am I thy shield, I'm your exceeding great reward. What is the great reward of faith? The kingdom. Exceedingly great. What's better than the kingdom, y'all? Nothing. Look, he stand on his word so much. Abraham got his own bosom, y'all.
Yeah.
Who got their own bosom? He got his own safe place to rest. He's a part of the kingdom. Whoever going to the kingdom of God went to Abraham's bosom. Right. That's how much faith. He got his own bosom.
That's right.
Who got their own bosom, man? What type of faith is that? Come on.
And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless?
You hear that? So now he like, look, Most High, what's up with all this stuff? I done crossed the Euphrates rivers. I done went to war. You know what I'm saying? With the king of Sodom and Gomorrah. I done did this, I done did that, I done went and got locked back. Like, it might kick off this. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Most High? When you gonna cash some chips in? You said you gonna give it to me, right? Come on.
Seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus.
You hear that? Think about it. He's at war. He don't know when his time is up or not. And all these promises still ain't been fulfilled yet. So he's like, man, we just came from war. I just came from getting locked back. He's sitting up, he like, man, I can get taken out anytime, been at war. He like, look, so when you gonna give me what you said, Lord? Like, I ain't got no seed. He haven't gave seed yet. He been banging. He's like, so what, my seed, everything gonna get passed down to my assistant? Come on.
And Abram said, behold to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir.
You hear that? I ain't got nobody to pass my heritage to, but to who? To Eleazar. Come on.
And behold, the word of the Most High came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir.
You hear that? That ain't gonna be your heir. Your heir go to your seed, right? Huh? Come on.
I got you on camera, man. Drop your water.
Come on.
But he that shall come forth out of thy I'm sorry.
Yeah, read it out.
But I'm gonna start off with 4. Behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir.
Yeah.
And he brought him forth abroad, and said, look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
You hear that? So he looked towards the stars. And now think about this. They over in the land. When it get dark out there, them stars is bright in the wall. And he counting the stars. He said, if you able to number these, this gonna be this how much I'm gonna multiply your seed in your bloodline. And Abraham believed it. Now look at us till this day. Like we mess around and outnumber the stars. Huh? For real. And y'all, we multiply. We Jacob kids.
That's right.
Like for real, for real.
And another thing is saying he keep using the word seed. So that means male and female.
Yeah, most definitely.
So as we constantly read, but you have groups out here that try to make seed only one side. male only. So they're presented to you from that perspective that sperm only produce males.
Yeah.
And that ain't nowhere written in here. It always says seed, or the product of sperm, which is male and female.
Right.
So they'll try to always shift it on you. And with that shifting come a lot of troubles, because if they do it one side with male, if your father is a Hamite, then there's men that teach you ain't an Israelite.
Right.
And that doctrine ain't in here.
Yeah, people teach Bob Marley was a white man.
Right.
Sound crazy, because his father, the Marley, he was a white man, a white self. But all his characteristics, his singing, how he danced, everything he got from his mom.
That's right.
You understand? So today is folks that what Daniel was saying, that are straight. You run across Israelites and say, Bob Marley's not going to be in the kingdom. Bob Marley wasn't no Israelite. He was a white man. Yeah, crazy.
Right, and understand this, y'all, there ain't no scriptures in here that say the father can only be the seed carrier. It basically says the opposite. We have two places in here where Exodus 24 and Acts 16 both say the female in this one particular case, who father of their children was of another race, but the bloodline still went through the female of Israel, because the covenant is to your sons and your daughters. If that was allowable, this nation, or all nations that had us in captivity, all they had to do was kill all the men and have sex with all the women, and Israel is gone.
Right.
That's an easy process. It's called miscegenation. They could have miscegenated us out long before we even got to America. That could have been, we could have been out in Babylon and Assyria. We would have been a through piece.
Right. Negro crime would have been eradicated.
It would have been eradicated if that was allowed to stand. But because the covenant was to your seed, both male and female, it prevents miscegenation, power out, so to speak,
Makes sense.
or overcome.
Genesis 3:15, the Most High told him, and I will put enmity between your seed and her seed.
Just read it in English,
Again,
right?
seed, offspring, male and female. What you got, bro?
I was trying to understand what David and Joab, what they did when they went down to Edom and cut off every male.
And what happened now?
David and Joab cut off every male down to Edom.
Yeah. When wartime come, it'll tell you to cut them off, but that wasn't the whole house of Esau. That was just in that particular region to cut off all the males in that deal, so they couldn't reproduce. But it was never a complete wipeout, because there's prophecy of Esau at the end.
Right.
If they'd have been wiped off there, then Obadiah don't stand. And Isaiah 60 don't stand. Isaiah 59 don't stand. The remnant of Edom would have been gone at that prophecy. Right. So it was just for that particular group that was causing problems and issue. Wipe all of them out. And the same thing happened with Israel, because we was going to wipe out the entire tribe of Dan at one time, and Benjamin at one time. It wasn't going to be no seed left of Benjamin. No, I'm saying the book of Obadiah, when it speaks of Edom, it speaks of prophecy for the last day. So if this happened then the book of Obadiah has already been fulfilled.
Yeah, then you got laws concerning warfare, or rules of engagement. But let's write this down so we don't, run out of time or whatever. But write this down. What David and them did was in the Torah, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 12 through 17, 12 through 18. Deuteronomy 20, 12 through 18 is the rules concerning warfare, where they cut off all the men and took the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, the spoils of war, basically.
Right.
That's Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 12 through 18. And to this day, they got what's called booty, or spoils of war. That's all it was.
Yeah, brother.
And then most of the scriptures you had, Exodus 24 and Acts.
Acts 16 and 1. Yeah, we're talking about 24 and 10. We're talking about the sister that was an Israelite, and it gives her lineage, who was from the tribe of Dan. And her son, his father was an Egyptian, and he went crazy.
That's Leviticus 24?
Leviticus 24, I'm sorry. And they judged him off of Israelite law, because Moses and them took him, and they judged him off Israelite law. The same thing with Timothy. All of these writings out of Timothy, his father was a Greek, but his mother was an Israelite.
Right.
So we got it both in Old and New Testament, Where they getting from if you not born of a male, you wiped out or you another nation? I ain't seen it in here. They ain't got two witnesses to say that.
Right.
So when they say that, call them on them and tell them to point it out in scripture. Because they're going to go to seed, just ask them the next question. Is seed only male?
Right.
Or does it mean offspring, both male and female?
Right. And at the bottom line, faith is what gets you into the kingdom.
That's right.
It ain't your skin color or none of that. It ain't
Shalom, y'all.
male or female, it's your faith.
Shalom, family.
Now, inside this faith, you got particulars. You know what I'm saying? But it's what it is. It's faith.
So that's Leviticus 24, 10 through 16, y'all. In Acts 16th chapter. It's that verse, like 1 and 2 or something like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this done. After we read this chapter, we get a couple more.
Verse 6. And he believed in the Most High.
And he what?
And he believed in the Most High.
Yeah.
And he counted it to him for righteousness.
You hear that? So at this point, he counted it to him as righteousness. Because remember, he took him through all these trials and he passed all of them. And then the Most High, see how he went to work? He was there for his nephew. You know what I'm saying? Most High came and hollered at him. And he repeated everything he been told him again. Abraham believed. He like, man, this dude, I ain't delivered yet.
Right.
But yet and still, he still believed. All I had to do was reassure him a couple times. He like, look, I count this to you for righteousness. Now, come on.
Verse 7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit?
You hear that? Now Abraham like, okay, so when do I know it's mine? Remember he already had, he like, what's up with my seed too? Yeah, like he like, look, I'm putting in my work. Where the chips at?
Right.
And he said unto him, take me an heifer of 3 years old.
Now you see that? Take him a heifer of 3 years old. Come on.
Heifer.
And a she goat of 3 years old. And a ram of 3 years old. And a turtle dove. And a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst.
You hear that? He divided them in the midst. Come on.
And laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not.
You hear that? So he did a sacrifice. But he did not sacrifice it. He left the birds whole. So you see what's happening. He asked the Most High. The Most High said he's going to give him a covenant, right? But remember, every covenant, blood has to be involved. So then he said, look, go get you a heifer, go get you a she-goat, go get you some turtle doves, and divide them. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing that. He's doing a sacrifice. Come on.
And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away.
You hear that? Because the blood spilled. You know how they is. The boat just get the smell in there.
Yeah.
Like, hold on. So they finna try to mess up his covenant. Abraham like, hold on. I need my seed to multiply like the stars. I need this land. I need all this possession. So he's shooing off the vultures that's coming down, is trying to get the carcass. Let you know that these things that he got is dead now. Meaning he had done what? He done a sacrifice.
That's right.
Meaning he had to spill blood to mark the covenant. Come on.
And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram.
Right.
And lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
So he's like, look, you want this covenant, but before you get this covenant, I'm gonna let you know the ups and downs to this covenant.
That's right.
Before he consecrated this covenant, he like, look, you gonna expect some horror, expect some affliction, expect some hard bondage. Because, and he's basically telling them, I know you gonna keep my covenant, but them little offsprings of yours,
right?
they gonna turn their backs, right? Come on.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
Come on.
And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
You hear that? He said you're going to be buried in a good old age. You're going to holler at the fathers in peace. And look, they're gonna be in affliction, but when they leave that place, they're going to come out with a great substance. I'm going to multiply your seed as the earth. And notice he's doing all of this because he's prepping for the covenant.
That's right.
He already got the ritual done, so to speak. He already divided everything he needed divided. He spilt the blood, and then the Most High sent him into a deep sleep. Same way when he worked the miracle with Adam, he put him in what? A deep sleep.
That's right.
You see the same things be consistent with the Most High, because he don't change.
That's right.
That's why the same thing you repeated to Abraham, and repeated to who? Isaac. The same thing you repeated to Isaac, and repeated to who? Jacob. The same thing you repeated to Jacob, the same thing you repeated to who? Us.
Right.
Us. You got to go through the same afflictions, and you got to go through the same test of faith like everybody else did. Like Dan said earlier, everybody got to pass under the rod by themselves.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. It ain't no get in the kingdom off another Negro's work card around.
Right.
It's not. Your belief and your works is how you get the kingdom.
That's right.
Come on.
And y'all see, he said that you're gonna die in a good old age.
Yeah, a good old age.
Abraham died 175, so we be hollering about 70, 80 like we done lived some time.
Yeah.
You ain't started living yet.
Yeah.
Until you get back there. Joshua said in the 14th chapter, he said, I was 85 and I feel like I was when I was 25.
Right.
Because when you're a friend of the Most High, you stay renewed. Yeah, the flesh is decaying, but there's a slow process of it going into a full decayed state. So you get double the years that the average man is getting.
You preserved by that faith, huh?
You're preserved by faith.
Preserved by faith. It's like honey. Honey don't age.
Right, but the flesh has to die. See, that promise Abraham still had to taste physical death.
Yeah. But you peep though, the scripture says that keeping the commandments is good to thy bones.
Yeah.
Like you get to live longer. Same thing with the promise. If you keep the commandment, honor thy mother and thy father, so your days will be what? Long upon the earth. Yeah, father and mother. So it lets you know that faith even preserves you too. Of course, you got to take the dirt nap, but like you said, a good old age. Negroes dropping dead of heart attacks at 34 now.
Boy, that's terrible, eh?
Man, I'm 28, boy. What's going on there? You know what I'm saying?
Repent or die.
Man, repent or die. But you see, faith changed that blood. Faith preserved the blood. Faith changed the DNA. Faith heals the body. But it's what faith though? It's that faith in a Mashiach.
That's right.
Faith in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The same faith won't go through the Christianity church. You won't get the same type of benefits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, no, if you faithful at school and you go to work and you go to school hard, of course, your paycheck gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? Your pension gonna be good. You get your degree because you faithful in worldly things. But we talking about the faith in the Almighty God, the possessor of heaven and earth.
That's right.
Huh? I need him as my friend.
That's right.
Them benefits right there. And everybody got people with benefits.
Boy, them benefits.
I call Elder Ariel if I need anything, he there. Imagine if you do that with God, the possessor who created heaven and earth. I mean, I think that's worth keeping.
Boy, you got some benefits.
That's some benefits, man. And Abraham had all of that. Abraham was scared. He said, hey, don't be afraid. Abraham, he like, look, I'm old. I ain't finna, where my seed at? Look, don't be tripping. I got you. You're going to have the seed. Abraham like, look, you told me to leave my city. Where I'm going to go? He like, look, I got a whole city. Look, the city was so big that was given to him. When the herdmen started fighting over it, he straight told Lot, he's like, what is we even arguing over? He like, and this how humble he was. He was so humble, he said, you look around. You take the spot you want to. Of course, Lot, he had a little selfishness going on. He seen Jordan, and Jordan had all the water. So he like, look, I'm going to choose the plains of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But think about all the cattle and stuff that they had when they came up out of Egypt.
That's right.
Most High blessed them, man. All off of Abraham belief. And you see, off of one man belief, everybody else got blessed.
That's right.
So imagine if it was 6 Abrahams down here. Man, come on now. That's beautiful. Come on.
Verse 16. But in the 4th generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces.
Now check this out. So this is where the covenant was sanctified and actually sanctified in. It says that it was a smoking furnace and it was a burning lamp that passed between the pieces. So we see the Most High is passing through these pieces of flesh.
That's right.
And we know that passing through means a bar. We know it means the action of Hebrew. Now, notice when the covenant was given to Moses upon the mountain, we finna see these same things, which is a smoking furnace and a burning lamp. We're gonna see the same thing. Come on. Read down here. Don't read it out real quick.
In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land.
Now it's not I will give this land. Now it's I've given this land.
That's right.
You see that? So he stayed true on his word. But notice, blood have to be shed to make it permanent. Same thing with this industry. You want to sell your soul over and do it. Look, let's make a blood covenant.
That's right.
They make you poke your finger on a little needle. Put that right there. Now only sign your name. I need your handprint in blood.
That's right.
Let's make this covenant real. Because that's where the life at. You can't turn on the blood. Blood in, blood out.
That's what they say, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what they say. I'm going to get back to you. Come on.
Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Hey, look, now when y'all get y'all Bible maps, look at that. Man, that's a lot of land, man. A whole lot of land. Come on.
The Kenites, and the Kenizzites, and the Cadmonites.
This is all eviction notices.
Yeah, right, right. Yes, sir.
Hey, come on.
And the Hittites.
I'm the landlord.
And the Perizzites, and the Rephaims, and the Rephaims, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgazites, and the Jebusites.
All right, so look, we're going to hold this here real quick. So let's go look up these words real fast, and then we're going to keep it pushing. Let's go to Exodus 19. Let's read 6 through 18 real quick to show y'all that the same thing always go down with each covenant. There's always smoke, and there's always burning smoke and a burning lamp.
Right.
Letting you know that that's him, that dying consuming fire. Go ahead, bro.
Genesis 15, wasn't that our prophecy?
Huh?
Genesis 15, verse 13, when I was the prophecy.
Yeah, all it's a prophecy. Yeah.
You see, for 400 years, it come out.
Yeah, you see all that happen. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So let you know that, hey, look, and this is way before we was even thought of. Notice he ain't even had seed yet. That let you know that he know things from the beginning to the end and the end to the beginning. So look, notice it was already prepared. He already had a preparation and everything before he even created the garden, because he already knew it was gonna go down. So let's hit this Exodus 19 real quick.
You said 6 through 19?
Exodus 19, 6 through 18. Just to show how it line up about the same thing that go down whenever he do a covenant. You always see that lamp and you always see that smoke.
That's right.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6.
Go to verse 4. Yes.
Let's get it done.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 4. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant.
Keep what?
Keep my covenant.
Yeah.
Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Holy nation, set apart nation. Then if you look up the word set apart, it's 3 definitions for them. One is a bad one, but the other one, the first set apart, is actually a bar. A bar again, which is what? What a bar mean? Hebrew. So to be set apart is to be a Hebrew. The second one is palah, which means wonders or wonderful. So every Hebrew word that has to do with set apart, but that last one is talking about a set apart, basically when a woman's on her menstrual, how she's supposed to be set apart and unclean. Every other word for set apart is actually attached to the name Hebrew. It's a good thing. So it ain't bad to be a set apart people, but if you a set apart people, you must match the set apart criteria to being set apart.
That's right.
Come on.
Verse 7. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Most High commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Most High has spoken, we will do. Yes. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Most High. And the Most High said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, and the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever.
You heard that? And what?
And believe thee forever.
See how you immediately go talking about the faith? Huh? When I holler, y'all need to what? Believe.
Yeah.
And this I know y'all believe because y'all do what? Y'all start working. Y'all do. Come on.
And Moses told the words of the people unto the Most High. And the Most High said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow.
You hear that? Cleanse them. Cleanse them. But you only can be cleansed through what? Belief.
That's right.
Come on.
And let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Most High will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, nor touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death.
You hear that? He coming to some. He summoned himself on a mountain. He said, "Hey, look, better not no impure thing touch this mountain." And of course, all them impure. If you touch this mountain, you're gonna die. You're gonna drop dead. Just like when you went into the temple of God, if you was impure, what happened to the priest? Huh? That bell stopped jingling. Huh? They had the string on there. Ain't no bell. He's done. Go on, drag him out. Cause look, they had to keep the string because they couldn't go in there and get him. They were gonna drop dead too. They had to drag him up out of there, showing you wherever God come and dwell, that's the temple. Come on.
Verse 13. There shall not be an hand touched it. There shall not be, wait a minute. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through.
That's
shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mountain to the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
You hear that? You can't even lay down. Come on.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with the Most High. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke.
It was what?
Altogether on a smoke.
And we just read that same smoke?
Yes, sir.
It's the same Hebrew word too. Same Hebrew word. Same Hebrew word. So we see at the same time, this same smoke that walked through these pieces of flesh and that blood that was by Abraham and made the covenant with him, this same exact smoke is here on the mountain, giving the covenant to Moses. Come on.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Most High descended upon it in fire.
There go the fire. That same fire. That same ash. Same Hebrew word. Same one in what we just read. So we see the same smoke and fire is on the mountain with Moses, which is the same one that gave the covenant to who? Abraham.
That's right.
So it's the same entity giving this covenant. It's not no different person. It's the same entity. And it's the same belief that get this entity to give you the covenant.
That's right.
I mean, it's the same belief that changes your DNA structure. It's the same belief that gets you in the kingdom. And without this belief, you are not Israel. Without this belief, you will not inherit the kingdom of God. Without this belief, you like every other heathen on planet Earth. Because you don't what? Believe. It's just that simple. Come on.
And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace.
There go that same furnace we read.
Yeah.
It's the same Hebrew word.
That's right.
Same exact Hebrew word. Come on.
And the whole mount quaked greatly.
We can stop there right here. Let's move on. A couple more scriptures, we're going to get up out of here.
Before you get that, can I hit that Jeremiah 34?
Definitely.
And this matches up with this matches up with the Genesis 15, y'all, because there's more to the covenant of understanding the splitting of the calf.
Yeah.
Y'all, that sealed the deal, but we had wicked men in Israel that played that covenant like it was a joke. Like some will play this covenant we under like it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know, but this is a very serious thing, y'all. The splitting of the calf, that covenant that Abraham made, y'all, that sealed the deal. When he went through there, he accepted the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you got to make sure that you do this. And all nations and they little secret organizations practice the same way.
Yeah.
It's like a blood oath. They take blood oaths that they say, if I don't do this covenant, turn my tongue from my mouth, split me in twain. And look, this is how terrible this is. You will keep that oath with the Masons for a covenant that ain't gonna last but a few moments.
Right.
And you'll turn your back on the covenant of the Most High.
And remember, it's a blood covenant. That means once your blood is on there, that is what it is. Blood in, blood out.
Hit that Jeremiah 17 for me. 34:17. Whoever got it. Yo, and this matches up with that Genesis 15, so mark it as a second witness because Israel went crazy, y'all. This is actually what got us called and really part of throwing us into Babylon. These breaking of this set apart covenant.
Yeah.
Yo, didn't no other nation do this to us. We did this to ourselves.
Yeah. Really.
Jeremiah chapter 34, verse 17.
What it say?
Therefore, thus says the Lord, ye have not hearkened unto me, and proclaimed liberty, every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim liberty for you, saith the Most High, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to remove unto all the kingdoms of the earth.
Go ahead.
And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they had made before me, when they cut a calf in twain.
Cut the calf in twain.
And passed between the parts thereof.
So you see, they made the covenant in like manner that the Most High did with Abraham. They split the calf and passed through it and say, this is a blood oath, y'all. We got to keep this no matter what. And we'll see what they did after that. Go ahead, bro, just down to 20.
The prince of Judah, and the princes of Jerusalem, and the eunuchs, and the priests, and all the people of the land, which passed between the parts of the calf, I will even give them unto the hand of their enemies, and unto the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies shall be for me unto the fowls of the heaven, and to the beasts of the earth. Now
you see what their dead bodies end up being, the meat to the beast that Abraham frayed away, so that they couldn't touch the covenant. But you break this covenant, they gonna peck you apart.
That's deep right there. He gonna let them eat you.
And then I'm gonna cast you out of the land. See, when you make a blood oath, that's why he say, don't make no vow to me. Let it be nay. Let your yea be nay, and your yea be yea, and your nay be nay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And it said, don't swear, don't make a vow that you can't keep. So when you put it all on the line, you better keep your word with the Most High.
Yeah.
Or he will split you in twain, and the birds will have the mastery of you.
And the thing is, Dan, we in the covenant, we in the blood covenant, whether we accepted it or not. Our forefathers accepted it for us.
Right, right.
In the blood, whether you acknowledge it or not, you in the blood covenant.
Yeah,
right. And it's sealed by faith. So if you don't have faith, you're breaking the covenant just by not even believing.
Right. And y'all add right down Psalms 51-4, because it'll say, I'm coming to get my saints, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So when you understand this blood covenant in Genesis 15, you make a sacrifice with that of belief.
Yeah.
And he say, Psalms 50:1-4. So that's what you have to understand what that means, the covenant of sacrifice with me.
Yeah.
It don't mean we're going to sacrifice. That covenant was of belief.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something if you believe this covenant.
Exactly.
Cut them parts a piece, and I'm going to pass through them parts. Those are the saints, so we have to truly understand what Genesis 15 was about.
Exactly.
That's the true covenant.
Yeah.
And that's the covenant we're going back to, or under, so to speak. We always been under it. Like you're saying, bro, same thing happened in Mount Sinai. You know what we're saying, absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely.
See, that's why he say let your yea be yea and your nay be yea. Don't say, look, everything on my mama. I put that on my children. Say yes and say no. Okay.
Y'all know what he talking about.
Yeah. So when you put everything on your mother and your children, don't let that be just fat mouthing, because if the next thing happened, you get a call and something happened to your children, we know you done made some false prophecy. Because we can fix our mouth to say anything to try to make a covenant good.
Right.
So somebody will do what? Believe you.
Just to believe. That's all it's about is belief. That's all we battling over is belief. Civil war in Israel because of belief. And what we got against the heathens because of belief. Everything that's happening to us is because of our lack of faith.
That's right.
And all the good things that happen to us is because we have the faith. But it's all about faith. That's all this, everything is constructed and built off of belief. That's what it is. I'm looking at brother because I believe what I'm seeing. You know, everything that you move off of, everything that you breathe off of and exist off of is because of faith and consciousness. And that's why the faith have to bring on the covenant. Then the covenant is marked through the blood. And the blood is of who? Yahushua. And that same blood is in you if you believe. That's how you sanctified and justified by the blood.
That's right.
That's why the mercy was on the doorpost, which was blood. That's why you were sanctified on the altar. You use blood. Like everything you use to make something pure or to purge something or to make a covenant was by blood. If you go through that Exodus, that's all it was. A whole lot of blood spilling. But it was for good cause. Meaning the covenant comes through what? The blood. But you got to have the faith first. Go ahead, Hebrew. You was done with that?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
All right, so let's get to 1 Thessalonians. And I know you wanted a couple scriptures too, Hebrew. Yeah, and then we're going to end it with that Hebrews 11. First Thessalonians. Let's do 2:10-13.
Damn. They all might be damn.
Yeah.
Yo, boy.
Believe not the truth.
Man, I'm telling you.
With the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 10. Ye are witnesses.
Hold on, every few pages.
Yeah, you still got a couple people flip.
You good? Everybody there? 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. Ye are witnesses, and Yah also, how holily and justly and unblameably we behaved ourselves among you that believe.
Among who?
Among you that believe.
So he's recognizing family now.
Right.
He said, look how holy and unblamely that we acted amongst you that believe. Saying we have the same blood. The same blood because of the faith. Because you have the faith. That's why we act in this way.
That's right.
We are all set apart. Come on.
As ye know how we exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you, as a father doth his children.
Come on.
That ye would walk worthy of Yah, who hath called you unto his kingdom and glory.
Come on.
For this cause also thank we Yah without ceasing. Because when ye received the word of Yah, which ye heard of us, ye received it not as the word of men.
So when you have faith, you don't receive the word of men. You don't see a man breaking you off the scriptures when you really believe. You're like, boy, God was working through that dude. You automatically give the glory to God.
That's right.
Automatically. That's the difference in the faith. Your faith is not in man, your faith is in the word of God. Come on.
Ye received it not as the word of men,
but what?
But as it is in truth.
And who is the truth?
The word of Yah.
The word of Yah. Come on.
Which effectually worketh also in you that believe.
Look, it says which effectively worketh also in you that believe. So if you believe, this word of God worked effectively in you. Let's look up this word effectively. It'll blow your mind what it says. Let's look it up.
You got it.
Let's look it up real quick. Show you what faith actually do to your inside when it's inside of you. Yep, effectually working.
It's G1754.
Oh, they're quick.
Yeah, he got there fast.
In E-O.
Yeah, and equal.
To be operative. Be at work. Put forth power.
To put forth what?
Power.
To put forth power. That's power in you.
That's right.
And you have to work that power. So when you have the faith, it's a power that's in you. So if you have the faith and somebody else don't have the faith, you have a power over that other person, not for you to rule over them. Right. But it's a power in you that works different than what he got. So if y'all both got the same disease and he have the faith that the Most High will heal him, and you be like, I'm gonna go to the doctor, who you think gonna actually get cured? Because they gonna tell you ain't no cure in the medicine. It's a 12-step program. These are the side effects. He like, look, I don't want your medicine. God can heal my body. And he fast and pray. Who is gonna get the miracle? Who is really working with the power? It's gonna be the brother with the belief. Come on.
To work for one, aid one.
So who what?
To aid one.
To aid one. Come on.
To affect.
Let's get that strong.
To display one's activity, show one's self-operative.
You see that? So when you get the faith, you go to work. And what are you working? You're working the power that you get from having the...
One guy ended up getting healed by going to see, by seeking his thing holistically and spiritually. So he ain't believe it at first. He was like, what are you telling me? That you can be healed through a belief? Yep. This is impossible. You know, and then the little chick he went to go see kind of opened his eyes up a little taste, and you know, and it went from there, you dig? But it's just something to trip off of. I was watching it earlier this week, and then he put a class together about it. I was like, man, that's crazy. Yeah. I just was watching the movie Doctor Strange. And
that's one of my favorite movies.
And he was doubting the whole time. Like, man, that's impossible until he got humbled. And that was the key aspect in it too. He was too cocky at first, so they kicked him up out the school. Yeah. Like, nah, you can't come up in here. Bye. They threw him out headlong. Yeah. And then he got the banging on the door. Like, let me back in. He had to be humbled first to receive, you know what I'm saying, the truth. And it was all through belief. And then certain miracles he started working because he started believing, you know what I'm saying, that it could be done. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So y'all check that out when y'all get a chance. The next scripture is Matthew 17, 20 through 21.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. And Yahweh said unto them, because of your unbelief.
Your who?
Unbelief.
That means you don't have any faith. Belief and faith are the same word when you get into it in Hebrew. Amen. When you say amen or aman, you're saying I believe that I got faith in what's being said. I agree. Go ahead, Hebrew.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed,
which is very small. Yeah. Which is very small. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove.
So that means there's nothing in your life you're going through that can't be conquered. That's right. Through faith. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that you're going through. Look at your biggest obstacle you're going through, like a big mountain that's in your way. It can be conquered if you have the belief and faith without doubting in the Most High, the creator, owner, and possessor of all things. Yeah. Surely he can take care of your problems.
Straight up.
You feel me? The one that ordained the sun and it ain't skipped a beat since it was created.
That's right.
Surely your little problem can be conquered. You just got to have the belief for it to be conquered and have the patience to receive it.
That's it.
All right, go ahead, Doc.
And nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Some things.
Nothing shall be impossible unto you.
That's either ink on paper or you believe that.
Straight up.
Either that's ink on just a soothing read, or you really believe what them red letters are saying right there. Bigger the faith, bigger the miracle. Go ahead, Doc.
All right.
Is that it? You want
yeah, then John 15, 7 through 16, 7 and 16. You got to read through 16. John 15, verse 7 and verse 16. Let me know Hebrew. That time to scribe the board too.
Yeah, after that, let's do this. After that, let's do this Hebrew. We're going to do 11, 1 through 12, then you can scribe the board, and then we're going to get up out of here.
John 15?
John 15, verse 7 and verse 16.
Okay. Start at verse 5.
John 15, 5 through 7, then verse 16.
Yeah, okay.
John chapter 15, verse 5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing.
Man, without the faith in the one that the Most High sent, which is a law too, because that's Deuteronomy 18. You gotta listen, you gotta hearken is Shema in Hebrew, listen, meaning you gotta have faith. Faith come by what? Hearing the word. So it tell you right in that Deuteronomy 18, if you don't hearken or hear or listen to the one the Most High gonna send, it's gonna cost you your life.
Right.
So he's saying flat out, without me, you can't do nothing.
Right.
Just like if you was looking at a tree that had branches on it, you understand? We connected into the vine. The vine has the branches. You the branches, he the vine. And his father planted him.
Yeah.
Can branches live if they're not connected to a tree?
No.
Can any branches live if they're not connected to a vine?
No.
So just like branches are nothing without the tree that is on, you're nothing without the true vine, which is the Messiah.
That's what it is.
Real simple. Go ahead, Hebrew.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire.
Yeah, they do just firewood at that point.
Yeah.
Don't we do that with all of that firewood that's not connected to a tree anymore? That it fell off, it's dead wood. And the only thing you can do with that is burn that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a branch that's detached from the true vine.
That's right.
Because you're just fuel for the fire at that point. Go ahead, Doc.
And they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
You shall ask what you will, and it shall be done. You see? So again, if his word abide in you, that's the seed. That abide in you, you under that same vibration, you can ask whatever, and it can be done for you.
That's right.
All right, go ahead, Doc.
Go down to verse 16.
Yes, sir.
15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
What?
Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain.
Ordained you. You don't got to get no certification from the state theology school, none of that.
No. Right.
Teach this word.
Right.
You ain't got to have no PhDs and no fancy letters behind your name. The good doctor reference.
Right.
Nah, he just said, I do the picking, I do the choosing, I do the ordaining.
Yeah. Right.
That's what he said. Hey, go ahead,
All praise.
And that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
Flat out. I'll go back to the broad class.
Right.
All right, look, we're gonna do Hebrews 11.
They want to go down to 19.
Go ahead, bro.
If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye are of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
So that takes us back full circle, what we started off talking earlier.
That's right.
You've been chosen out of the world, so you're going to receive your hate.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, wear that with like badges of honor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wear it like an emblem of honor. You did. Earn your stripes.
Let's end it with Hebrews 11, 1 through 12. The men and elder give up Monday and do the whole lesson.
Hebrews, what are you going?
11. We're going to read 1 through 12.
Okay.
You got it down here on this end?
Hebrews
11.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders attained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yah,
so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Wow.
By faith Abel offered unto Yah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yah testifying of his gifts.
You hear that? So through faith come righteousness. Same thing he told Abraham. Just because you believe this, I'm going to count it to you as righteousness. Come on.
God testifying of his gifts, and by it being dead, yet speaking. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
That's right.
Come on.
And was not found, because Yah had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yah.
And you can't please Yah without what? Faith. See how it all run and make sense? It's all connected to each other. Come on.
Verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yah must believe that he is.
So what's the first thing that comes to this walk? You gotta believe. Otherwise, what are you walking for? That's the first thing. You hear it and you just know it's true. Everybody that came to the truth like that, they heard the air, they like, now that don't sound like none of the bull that I've been hearing. That gotta be something. Then you start, that's what send you on your search, the faith. You recognize it, it just sounds so, it sounds different. You feel it in your body, you feel it in your blood. You change at this point. You're like, let me go on my search. Next thing you know, you look up 5 years later, and you done buried a lot of fruit, you walking right, you teaching, and you trying your hardest to stay out of sin. That's faith. Come on.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
You hear that? So when you diligently seek him, that's the faith. And the reward you get for your faith is what? The kingdom. Come on.
By faith, Noah being warned of Yah of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
See that all these people that we be like, man, they did mighty things in the Bible. All of them did these mighty things because they had what? Faith. So if you have faith, you can do the same mighty things. We just read it. Come on.
By the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed.
You hear that? Which he should receive after. You don't get this before you go. You got to do the work and then I'll reward you. But first you got to believe. Then Abraham get up, he took Lot, he took his wife, he took everybody that was with him and his cattle, and what he do? He crossed the Euphrates. He's like, let's get up out of here because God told me so. He promised me a son, he promised me land, possession. He said he was going to bless me, change my name, and give me seeds to number the stars. I got to take him up on his offer. All chips was in. He put all his eggs in one basket.
That's right.
That's belief. He went all in. Come on.
And he went out, not knowing whither he went.
You hear that? Because remember, he didn't know at first. Before he told him to go to the land of Canaan, he didn't give him no land. He said, get up and go. And then I'll show you the way. I'll show you where you're going. That's belief. And look, he didn't, like Mally said, he didn't leave a city to city. He didn't go to St. Louis to the East St. He went from a different country to another country. Huh? Come on.
By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country.
You hear that? And look, Pete, what he called it. By faith he sojourned in the land of what? Promise. What is the promise? The promise is the covenant.
Right.
He sanctified and covered that land. Notice where Jerusalem coming back to. The promised land. Meaning the covenant never changed. It never changed. The same land he gave him is the same land that he still has. The same land that we gonna possess if we make it to the kingdom by what?
Faith.
Faith. Start looking up all these words and start connecting all these Hebrew words and start speaking to you. Everything is connected. Everything. Everything. Keeping the commandments is faith. Keeping the commandments is faith. Believing in Christ is faith. You only can get to the kingdom by one way, faith.
That's right.
It sure can't be because if we all have sinned, so that's out of the picture. We all done transgressed the Torah, so that's out of the picture.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You get in by the pure faith of keeping the commandments and believing that a Mashiach gonna come save us. And a lot of people don't believe that. You believe somebody's going to crack the skies and come save you.
Right. You don't?
You don't?
Right.
They don't have the faith. They're different. Your blood is not the same as mine. Because faith changed the DNA structure of your body. Faith changed the blood. Remember we was talking about it earlier? It's something in your blood that the scientists can't figure out why it's there. You got this extra adjective. They don't know what it is. That's the covenant that he put in us. Hold on. Come on.
We'll finish this up. Dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
Of the what?
Same promise.
Keep hearing this promise, covenant, the promised land, faith, belief, amunah. They all the same thing. Come on.
For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yah.
Beautiful.
Through faith also, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised.
Do 12 and 13, quick.
Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. All these died in faith, not having received the promises.
You hear that? So they died in faith. They died still fully persuaded and convinced. They didn't even receive the full promise yet. They didn't even receive the full promise. But they went out knowing that the promise will be fulfilled. Ain't that called believing?
Yes, sir.
That's believing. And look, everything that they believed came true. That's how we here right now. We wouldn't even be here. If he doubted, it wouldn't be no such thing as no Hebrew Israelites. Somebody else had a promise. It wouldn't be us. The covenant wouldn't have trickled down like this. If the covenant trickled down all because Abraham believed. Because he believed. And when he believed, he changed his blood. He put a covenant mark on his blood. It changed the structure of his DNA. That's why we are chemically constructed differently than everybody else on planet Earth. Other than that, we'll be just like everybody else. Without the faith, you just a regular Negro. And that's just what it is.
Right.
It sounds harsh, but that's what it is. You know, I learned a little science, and you know, I'm like, man, look, we different there. Chemical compounds, melanin, and all this and that. And I got to thinking, I'm like, man, without that covenant, without Abraham believing, we all be the same.
Right. Regular gasoline.
That's it.
We trying to be premium. High octane.
Come on.
But having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them.
Was what?
Persuaded of them.
That's why Paul said, he said, knowing this, knowing that God is coming back, knowing that heaven and the lake of fire is real, we fully persuade men. Huh? We diligently seek men to persuade them, to give them this faith. Come on.
And embrace them, and confess that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Beautiful. So look, we are set apart people. If you actually look up the word set apart, it's going to say apart too. You know what I'm saying? Like everything to do with us is an action of our name, which is Hebrew. So we can't be saying we Hebrew Israelites when we don't believe in the Messiah. We can't say we Hebrew Israelites and we don't believe in God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. By faith, it changes your blood and your DNA structure. Again, you can look at Dr. Bruce Limpton,
right,
Britt Skitnia, and Dr. Mark Carolla. Did I say them right?
Yeah,
no?
Close enough. Yeah.
All of these are places. All of them got their MDs. All of them labor for over 20 years, and a lot of them are into science. And they have actual physical proof that by belief, people done changed their DNA structure. People that were sick, never took medicine. They believe that they can be healed, and their bloodline changed. Their DNA changed. Women became pregnant and never laid down with nobody. Now they didn't produce no baby, but their stomach got big, they heard heartbeats and everything, all off of belief. Now, if we can believe all that and see that evidence from some white boys, of course, we can believe that there's a heaven, that there's a kingdom, a new Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, faith without works is dead. You better start running. You believe, you better start running and eating.
Look.
Faith without works is dead.
Look.
You gotta work.
And some of these things goeth not out but by fasting and prayer. So, may I do a little fasting to help you out, bro?
No, hold on, bro. I had a question. Go ahead.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. Pseudo-sciensis.
Pseudo-sciensis.
I called it pseudo-Christian. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Right.
Pseudo-sciensis.
And y'all, another thing is like I say, mind over matter, all the things. You have some people that can quit certain things and they call it going cold turkey.
Yeah.
It's just they made up their mind and believed that this was going to be the last day that I'm doing that.
Right.
That's all they did. They just made up their mind. Now, some, it may be a little bit bigger problem. It all depends on how deeper you done got into it. And y'all, by no means are we instructing y'all never to go to the doctor. What he's saying, though, is that these small things, because the Most High give warning for every sickness. Everybody in here that something affect them, you were warned that it was coming on.
Yeah.
Once you let it set in, like if you stop a cold with the tickling in the throat, you gonna beat it. But if you let it get here, then there's gonna be problem, and now you may have to go to the doctor to give you something more stronger to drive it back to the point that where you can get control again.
Right.
But you don't want to go to the doctor and think that that's the cure-all. Then you won't stop doing what you're doing because you'll be looking at the medicine he gave. Oh, when I get it again, I'll just drive it out with that medicine. Right. No, it can't not be that, because he tell you in Sirach, I gave y'all the physician for a reason. Some men I have ordained to tell you, since you're so hard-headed, they'll tell you, maybe you'll believe it through them. But they do the same thing. The first thing they do is give you your faith back. It's called the diet. That's the first thing they give you. Here's your diet, and if you can't do it, here's your prescription.
You can't be faithful and keep your diet.
And keep your diet. That's what they have to tell you.
Makes sense, man.
Because it's what you putting inside of you that's causing your illness. So y'all, you have to understand it from that perspective.
So look, I just need to hear from everybody. So we are set apart people because of what?
Faith.
That's it. It's not because of bloodline. Faith gave us the blood. Faith gave us the covenant.
Right. What you had said?
Hebrew wanted to get his scribe on too. You know, he be in the Hebrew. We're going to see what's going on with this faith. We're going to put some numbers to it real quick.
Okay, we had two. Naomi and bruh had a question. Did you still have a question, bruh? Right here, you still have the question? You good? Okay. What you had, Naomi?
I was just going to say, it was a doctor on the news this morning who worked with cancer patients. And he had said that he had did some research, and he had started curing cancer without chemotherapy, but faith, but having understanding of how your body heals itself.
Let me read this one thing right here real quick, y'all, so y'all understand. And this is Sirach 38, so y'all write it down. I'm just going to read a couple verses. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the usage which ye may have of him, for the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he is wise, will not abhor them. Was not water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he that giveth men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous work. With such doth he heal men and take away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his work there is no end. And from him is peace over all the earth. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent to pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Leave off from sin, and order thy hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. So you see, the physician is there just to bring us back, you know, and they give you the law, but we just trust in. And you know, you have people that do doctor shopping. That's what killed Prince and Michael Jackson. Doctor shopping. Now they chasing them doctors who've been selling them that fentanyl. Do y'all know fentanyl is 20 times more potent than heroin? Fentanyl is so potent on the streets that they are cutting it with heroin. And this is what Prince was on, $60,000 a month of fentanyl.
He wasn't playing no game, was he playing?
So every time he took one, he was ready for a heart attack, and he heart attacked out, and now you got to face the Most High.
Michael Jackson the same way with propofol. The milk. I can't get to sleep. I can't get to sleep. No, you ain't never supposed to trust in medicine as the cure-all. Because you wasn't born with propofol. You wasn't born having to take fentanyl. You were born with the Spirit of the Most High. And he said the only thing you need is food and water. Bread and water, I should say. But the bread of life you have to have first. Because man should not live by what? But by what? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Y'all know what right. Cool.
So where we at, y'all? We got an announcement? Oh, you on your thing. Okay. All right.
You know, they say up in the doctrine of more, can I get an amen in church?
Right.
Can I get an amen? A lot of us say that but don't know what we say. All right. Now, amen or amen actually is the Hebrew word for faith or belief. All right. So when somebody telling you, can I get an amen, they're trying to force out of you that you believe what he's saying. Now, for you to say amen but don't believe what he's saying, you're doing yourself a disservice. Gotta know the definition of words. So I got faith up here equal belief, right? All right, the first word in amen, you know what it means, is a, but it's the left equal. That's the left right there. I, you got a ma, m, and you got the final n. That's amen in Hebrew right there. When it say Abraham believed in the Most High and counted him for righteousness, that's the word right there. Amen or amen, I'm right there on top of that. Forgive me, I'm not a scribe. I can do it neither way. That's amen. Or I'm in agreement, or so be it. But you're in agreement because you believe what's being said. Makes sense. Now, with every letter, there's numbers attached to it. The first letter, numerical value is 1. Ariel, hold up, who Ariel at? What that fossilized customs book? You got it on it? On the back of this book, he got all the Hebrew letters on it, and you see I ain't lying. On the back of that book right there, let y'all keep zoom in on that if you can. But every Hebrew letter has a numerical value to it. So does your English letters in the English alphabet. But y'all ain't lying. So the first letter has a 1 for numerical value. The M has a 40, and the N or the noon has a 50.
Hold it down, y'all.
Has a 50. All right, 50 plus 40 plus 1 equals what? 91. All right, 9 plus 1 is what? 10. That's 10. What Hebrew letter equals 10? Yo. That's the yo. What does yo mean? It means hang. It means hang. Okay? Hang, like you hang. All right.
Hold it down, y'all.
1 plus 0 equals what? 1. Numerical value for 1 is what? Left. The left, right? Which means what? It means lead, God, hey. Leader, God, all that. All right, so we got the hand of God already. Meaning that faith is given by the hand of God. 9 plus 1 again. A mind adds up to 91. 9 plus 1 is 10. The Hebrew letter for 10 is Yod. That's the first letter in Yah name. You say Yah, Yahweh. Equivalent to y, it equals 10. All right, it means hang. When you add that up, 1 plus 0 is 1, you get back to a left, which means God. The first time in the Bible that this letter leads any word is Elohim, which means God. Right? Genesis 1:1. So hand of God gives you faith. All right.